Welcome to a very special episode on the Dice Cult. We're about to get started with part one of a two-part series in which we dive into the RPG system Monster of the Week. Our cast is a collection of players and DMs from across the Dice Cult, and I hope you'll check out their ongoing campaigns in the future. Our game's keeper is our very own Jackie. The story of paranormal activity and grisly murder in occupied France is hers to tell, and we are the better for hearing it. Music is provided by Kevin MacLeod, and soundscapes provided by Sai, recorded and produced by Scott and by Jackie. Hope you enjoy.
Hello, welcome to a very special interlude into our usual D&D fare. We're going to be playing a Monster of the Week one-shot that I have specially created for these lovely people here. I am Jackie. I'm your keeper for this game, not Dungeon Master. I get to be called a keeper. And these are my lovely players who are going to introduce themselves and their character names. We're going to start with Ian.
Hello, I'm Ian, and I am playing Sasha Fyodorov.
Hello, my name is Scott, and I am playing Phileas.
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh. Hi, I'm Sai, and I'll be playing Taiga Bailo.
Hello, I'm Jillian, and I am going to be playing Fern Cutting.
Hello, my name is Joshua, and I will be playing Beau St. James.
Hello, my name is Matt, and I am going to be playing... John Neville. I have everyone's character names listed, not mine.
That's a very confusing name.
It's spelled with a K.
Ah, better.
It wasn't spelled with a K
I don't
yesterday.
Yes, it was. It's on the sheet.
It wasn't what you put in the Discord.
It wasn't.
You can't do this to me. You can't change things on me, sir. Fine. John Neville. I can't promise you that in my received pronunciation accent, I'm not going to say Neville.
That's fine.
That'd be great. At one point, I'm going to call you Evil Knievel, and it's going to be... I'm going to hate myself for it.
And I'm going to love you all the more for it.
Okay.
That's why I put it that way.
If you don't know Monster of the Week, Monster of the Week is a little bit different than D&D. My lovely players here only need 2 dice with them. They just need 2 d6s, which they will roll for a variety of things that I will tell them to roll for. Instead of rolling for initiative, they might get to roll to kick some ass. And also do a variety of other things, sometimes special things that only their characters get to do. And the whole goal of this one-shot, and it's if you read the Monster of the Week playbook, is to find some damn monsters and stop them. So let's see if these guys can manage to do that in our one little night that we have together. So without further ado, we begin on a winter night. Snow lightly falls from gloom-filled clouds, illuminated in fits and starts by the light of the moon. On a hill outside the town of San Bouchard, the sparkle of lights and laughter of a party ring as champagne and brandy exchange hands. Outside a manor, red splashes in the snow. It glares out as a man hurriedly tries to wipe it away in the darkness below the windows where the party is. Secrets are being held here in occupied France. The year is 1942, and it's snowing. The rumble of a motorcycle fills the cold night air. Flecks of snow drift from the sky, illuminated by the half-moon hanging in the dark. It is winter in the quiet town of San Bouchard, and tonight there is fear lingering on the road. The tall trees loom above as a young man barrels down the road on his motorcycle. There are no sounds from the woods, no owls or howls in the night. Phileas can feel the sweat on his palms and coat lining his driving gloves, despite the biting cold whipping at his face. Scott, would you like to introduce your character?
Phileas is despite the goggles that he's wearing on and the heat from the engine underneath of him is just squinting into the night, and he's shivering in the cold. He's got a bomber jacket on. He's got a cap down low. He's looking into the darkness on his as he roars through on his custom built motorcycle that he and his father have made. He's a young man, French. He's about 15 years old, and tonight he is out of his element.
In your sidecar, attached to your motorcycle, there's a lump of fabric, just jostled by the speed at which you're moving, faster and faster. Louis told you to drive like the wind, and in the growing red blossoming stain on the fabric makes you want to just know that whatever happened can't be good. The late night call to bring your motorcycle up to the Darlan house outside of town as quick as you could meant something was wrong. Everyone in town knows Maurice Darlan was hosting German guests. Members of the Reich come to discuss something or other. A murder on this night couldn't mean anything good. The lights flicker and blink in the town on San Bouchard as you crest the last hill before descending down into town. You've lived here your whole life, and you know how to enter unseen, even from the few German soldiers asleep at their posts. As you approach, you turn the light of your motorcycle off to avoid curious looks from the town's few remaining stragglers slow to sleep. The cobbled paths and gravel streets make you cautious of drawing too much attention as you weave around through tight corners. Every clatter of your wheels on the stone makes you wince, but Monsieur Sacha's home was not far, and he would know what to do. The modest home always had a light on in one window or another. Despite the name Dr. Bellamy on the sign above the door, Sasha Fedorov helmed the tall gray and plaster home and the doctor's office. You pull your motorcycle into the alley just behind the doctor's home and race to the door, knocking even as you glance over your shoulder at the lump in your sidecar. Had that dark stain gotten worse? The door opens abruptly, and the figure is highlighted only by a candle held in his hand. Ian, would you like to introduce Sasha?
Sasha stands in the doorway. He's tall, got very dark curly hair. He's in his mid-40s. His hair is streaked with gray. Poorly shaven, very disheveled, holding the candle. Philia, it is so late. What's happening?
Monsieur Sasha, I need your, I didn't know where else to come. I think please, I think I need you to come to the motorcycle. Yeah, please come with me.
Okay, all right.
Phil will lead Sasha over to his sidecar, which usually doesn't have the sidecar on very often, but tonight he attached it, and
Philia.
There's I don't know what's in it, but there is a lot
blood.
of blood. Yeah, that's why I came to you.
Okay. Let's get it inside. Get it inside.
Okay, I knew you'd know what to do.
Yes.
I need
Pick
you
it up and
both
try to. Sorry.
to act under pressure.
Okay.
We're going to do a first roll here. As you are struggling to the 15-year-old and the 40-year-old struggle with a body.
Oh my god.
5.
What's your
7.
what's your modifier?
1.
So it's just a 5?
It's just a 5.
5, and what'd you get, Sasha?
7.
5 and 7. Okay. That's not the worst roll. You guys, as you open the sidecar door and start pulling this lump wrapped in canvas out, there's a thump as it hits the bottom of the sidecar, and Phileas, you stumble with the end that you're holding, and it drags on the ground just slightly as you're pulling it from the sidecar. And Sasha, you eventually get down and lift with your knees and manage to haul up the vast majority of this weight, and quickly get it through the door into your home. Where do you take this thing?
I'm going to take it to something I have like examiner's tables and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to take it to one of those and set it down because it does look body shaped.
It does. So you managed to get it into. Is your exam room? Do you think you probably keep that on the first floor, second floor, basement, first floor? So you manage to get in. You don't have to worry about carrying it up the stairs. And you lay it out. And on this table, you can clearly see that this is person-sized. There are, like, as you were handling it, you could feel limbs and you can feel feet. You could feel a head. It's strangely lighter than you probably expected from the size of this body.
Philia, what happened? Where did this come from?
Can you remind me, Keeper, the name of the person who had me take this?
Yes. So you were called late at night by Brigitte Montpellier, and she had gotten a call from, I have to scroll down for his name, from Louis Laurent, who is the gamekeeper and the housekeeper at the Darlan estate, the manor home outside of town.
That's where I went, was to the estate.
Yes, you went to the estate and you met Louis at the gate, and he managed to load up your sidecar with this package and told you to get to town.
Monsieur Sasha, Brigitte has had me travel to the manor dusk, dawn, for many days, just keeping an eye out. I don't know what that means exactly. Just back and forth. And tonight, she said I had to meet someone, and they were at the gate, and they had him, her, they had this.
Brigitte. She's not trustworthy. I told you, Philia. Don't listen to her.
Yeah, we,
I'm gonna go around and light some lamps and then bring them over and start unwrapping the body.
All right. You light some candles. Do you draw your shades as you do so?
Yes.
Okay. So you draw what shades were left open in the night. You light a few candles so that you can see what is before you. And as you throw back the canvas that concealed this body, you realize that whatever happened to this person was not a normal attack. It wasn't a normal murder. On the table lies what remains of a man you know, that both of you know. This is Auguste Vincent. He was the local butcher. And deep gouges have been dug into his stomach and neck, not hollowing him out. They didn't go all the way through, just collecting and pulling and hitting soft tissue. It's guaranteed to hurt but not kill immediately. And there's a smell in the air as you reveal his body. There's this lingering, sickly, sweet smell of rot, though it's not from a fresh corpse. Like, he's not been dead long enough to smell like that. And you notice that he's missing some pieces. His arms are there, his legs are there, his head is there. But you notice that, like, you've been around enough various gore to know that some of his insides are missing.
Monsieur Vincent.
This is not good.
No, he's dead.
Something inhuman did this. He smells like the undead.
Like one of your stories?
Yes, exactly like that. Like rotting. It is only a few hours, I assume?
It's only, yeah.
Okay. Only a few hours. He wouldn't rot and smell.
You don't think this wasn't any of the Germans?
I don't know. So many suspicious things in this town. Could have been, easily. But why were they having you drive by that house?
Brigitte didn't say. She just said to keep an eye out. Dusk, dawn.
What did they tell you to? What did they tell you to do with this? Did they just hand it over and that was it?
I believe they just said to hide it. To Keeper, could you remind me? Yes.
Yeah, to hide the body.
I didn't know where to go.
Making you do this. All right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's... Damn. Did any blood get on your sidecar?
I can go look.
Go look.
Phileas will run outside to go check, and the first thing he's also going to do is make sure also that his rifle is still there, and he's going to grab that to bring inside while he checks as well.
Absolutely. Did you take your rifle inside with you?
I am going to now, but I had not before.
Okay. So you get your hand on your rifle as you rush out to your motorcycle. And in the kind of dim light that's still being shown out of the open door, you do see that in your somewhat fumbling attempt to get the body out of your sidecar, there is a just smear of kind of blackening blood on the seat and on the floor of your sidecar. And you look at it once. You look over your shoulder down the alley. There are lights on in the houses behind you, but no one is peering through the windows. And you grab your rifle and go back inside.
I brought my father's rifle tonight. There is blood on the sidecar. I could take it off. Is there a place to hide it here?
If we drag it inside, perhaps take it to the cellar. You can put it in the cellar.
Okay.
The body to hide from whom? The Germans, I guess?
Monsieur Vincent was, I think he was sometimes making the Germans sick when they'd buy his meat. Maybe they... Maybe...
We will hide it from everyone,
Okay.
especially the Germans. Down in the cellar. Sidecar first, and then we'll look at the body again and then put it in the cellar.
Okay.
So you guys spend some time, you take off the sidecar. Phileas, you are very well practiced at this, and you both manage to lug the sidecar in as much as you can, kind of awkwardly, and fling open the cellar doors that are in the back of the house and slowly get it down the stairs without making too much noise. And as you come back up the stairs, again, you see that there are lights on in the houses, but no extra ones have turned on. People are nervous in town, especially at night. Ever since the Germans rolled in, it's been
This is normal
tense.
nervousness?
This is normal nervousness. A few people may have heard Phileas as he drove in, but that's also not trucks and motorcycles come through here as the Germans move about their posts. And he managed to turned his light off, so no one was surprised by motorcycle headlights through their windows. They know Germans moving at night can be tense, and if your window lights up with those sorts of headlights, it's not good news for you. And so it does not seem like Phileas has alerted too many people to the fact that he's here. And you guys didn't make too much noise moving that sidecar into the cellar.
Okay, cool. I am going to go back to the body, and I am going to see if I'm going to use one of my questions.
Okay.
Or use a hold to ask a question, I think is the right
Yes.
mechanic for it. Whatever.
Yes.
I think, so I kind of want to know, I think I'll ask, what does the monster want from this person?
Okay. So to explain, if you've never played Monster of the Week before, Sasha has a particular skill where he gets to roll ahead of time and gets to ask me various questions throughout the game based on that. And so Sasha rolled particularly well at the beginning of this game, and so has a number of questions that he gets to ask me. So what does the monster want from this person? This person being the body.
Yeah, what I want to know, I have a list of questions that I'm picking from. And essentially what I want to know is, what did this and why him? And that seemed like the closest.
Okay. So this body has been torn apart, but in very specific places. And honestly, if you're looking at the wounds, it doesn't seem like it's anything larger than a human. You can sort of see scratch marks. They look a little bit bigger than a human hand, but not by much. And there are kind of normal teeth marks, bite marks, in various places on his neck and at the top of his stomach. And you can see that where he's been torn open into his gut, it's been to access organs. Okay. And you see that his liver, his kidneys, his heart, and his lungs have all been ripped out. His intestines are severed, and you would know that no wolf has done this. No animal has done this. This is calculated. It looks like this monster wanted very specific pieces of this man, and may have been interrupted in getting the rest.
Okay. And could I get a list of what things what has been taken from him?
Yes. So his liver has been taken. Mm-hmm. His kidneys. Mm-hmm. His heart, and his lungs.
And you said it was interrupted. Do I get a sense of what it might have been trying to get but failed?
Yes. You can tell that it looked like it was going to be scooping out the intestines, but they're kind of ripped and flung. They're almost like half leaning out of what is, as whoever wrapped this body up was trying to conceal it. Things may have been jostled.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, no beast has done this. Oh, one more question. The rotten scent, is that coming from him, or is that a scent left on him by something else? Can I tell?
You can get the sense that you can't entirely tell if it's the body or if it's the canvas that he was wrapped up in. You can't. He was spending enough time in the canvas wrapped up in Phileas' sidecar that it's all kind of mingled together.
Okay, cool. All right. Was that all just one question, or was
that was yes? I will count that as your question. I gave you some free information.
Cool. All right, Philia. Let's sell that for now. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Gonna wrap it back up and try to hoist it down the steps.
Okay. As you guys are moving this body and dealing with what you've now discovered might be happening in your town, we are going to pan our camera over a little bit, fast forward as you're handling this. And we're going to move to Paris, specifically a small restaurant in Paris. And Paris is beautiful. It's winter, it's cold, but for the most part, everyone is trying to enjoy the last little bits of sun that they have. Paris is difficult when it's occupied by the Germans, and so people are just trying to get by. The sun is setting over the city, and honestly, the city itself is under the grip of monsters as much as whatever's happening in Saint Bouchard. Maxime's on the Grand Boulevard is quiet this evening. There's a clatter of plates and silverware that grate on the nerves of the citizens who are anxious and glancing over their shoulders at German officers sitting among them. In a back room, private, away from the anxious eyes, a woman in a neat suit, hair curled perfectly under her small cap, lights a cigarette. Her hands are calm, her smile is practiced and easy. A curl of smoke rises from the cup of hot tea sitting in front of her, and the waiter delivers 3 more meals to her table. She's expecting people, and as the door opens, at least one, if not most, of her expected party arrives. Now, my group in Paris, you can decide who arrives first out of Fern, John, Beau, and Tyga.
I think I'm going to arrive first.
Okay. Would you like to describe how Tyga enters this small private room in the back of Maxime's?
Well, Tyga comes in very well dressed, maybe seemingly too much for what the ration should be. But it's some kind of intimidation / confusion tactic on Taiga's part. And Taiga comes in and they nod to Madame. Bonjour, Madame.
Oh, bonjour.
I'm sorry for being 5 minutes early. I hope you don't mind.
I always expect you to be on time. Where
If
are the
you
rest?
want, I could wait 5 minutes outside.
Oh, no need to draw more attention by exiting the back room and then coming back. There
Yes.
are Germans out there.
Oui. So I suppose I shall take a seat.
Sit anywhere you like. We'll have more guests.
More guests.
Yes, and she looks behind you, and who would like to arrive after Taiga?
I think I might be next compared
Okay.
to who I am going up against.
Probably accurate.
Fern Cutting comes into the restaurant and first off has to just suppress the instant anger at the aggressive amount of Germans in the general area. But does not have a forced smile or anything. It's just straight face. Definitely not dressed for a fancy restaurant, just what she always wears. She did not change for the occasion. She goes into the back room. She is a woman in her early 40s. She kind of has a bit of a grizzled look to her and a pretty large facial scar. She comes in, kind of observes the people. Taiga Bilo.
Oh, it's you, Miss Fern.
Pleasure
and I
to meet
look at Madame. I'll shrug at Madame, and Taiga takes Fern's hand and shakes it, and also does a bow at the same time.
Squeezes the shit out of your hand. It is a incredibly solid handshake. Nice to meet you. I've heard good things, and I'm going to sit next to Taiga.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice to meet you too. I've also heard good things. Seems like we are keeping good company here today, this afternoon.
Very exciting, very professional.
Indeed.
Well, hold that thought. Do come in. We're waiting. And this is where I don't know if both enter or just one.
So as she says, "Do come in," with the expectation that there's more people coming, nothing happens, and a good 5 minutes go by until the door is just opened a little bit too, not super discreetly. It's just opened just a little bit too hard, and a man walks in and is roughly 30 years old, clean shaven, salt and pepper hair, wearing a wool suit that's just a little bit noticeably too large for him. That's obviously bought used, has a little bit of stain on it, mud stains on his shoes that are also a little bit worn. He strolls in cocky, but as he does so, he trips over his own pant legs and stumbles a little bit as he enters. And he turns and shuts the door behind him, just probably a smidge too loudly. Straightens out his suit and he goes, sorry, got caught up in traffic.
Traffic.
Hi. And he goes to give a handshake to one of you guys and a bow to Madame at the same time. And it just comes across as completely right, yeah, we're both here. And then he takes this incredibly stylish cane that goes completely against the entire wardrobe. A polished silver handle with a solid oak core going down the center of it, and a very solid piece of silver on the bottom. It's kind of a wonder that he still has it, given the German occupation. This would be something somebody would take. But it's one of those pieces of jewelry that when you look at, you notice it briefly, and then your attention just kind of drifts onward. And he just taps it on the ground and goes, "Bo, we're here, Bo." And he taps it again, and he taps it twice on the ground.
And out from this cane drifts an incorporeal figure who looks at least 70 years out of date with his fashion, but he's never fully dressed without a silk cravat. And he says, "Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Good evening. Hello."
Hello, it's so nice of you to finally make it. John, you could take a seat now that you're fashionably late.
That's me, all fashion. Yes. Bonjour. And he sits down. And
I am just
visibly
staring
winces.
I'm just staring at Tyga, and my eyes are screaming.
I haven't gotten up, like not even to shake hands.
No,
just
I haven't
sitting
moved.
There.
Do you all already know each other?
Well,
I'm just saying the air in the room has a particular tension that I wasn't expecting from the group of you all.
I'm good.
Of course you are, John.
Well, I haven't met these fine folk. My name is Beau St. James.
I have heard of you, Beau St. James, and I have heard of you, John Neville.
Tyga scoots over to Madame and says, has there been some kind of clerical error here?
Oh, no, dear. Unfortunately, their particular skill set is of use for what I'm going to be sending you towards.
Oh, I see.
I am also not as pleased with it as possible because this is it's going to be a delicate situation, and I'm entrusting that you and Mrs. Cutting is going to be able to handle the situation in a very particular way. No offense, Mr. Neville and Mr. St. James.
Oh, of course not. We're very good at delicate.
Are you?
Very.
I think the Hindenburg might disagree with you, but let's call bygones bygones.
Officially, we had nothing to do with that.
On paper, yes, but in our records, very much so. However, you might have the chance to make up for that if you do us this small favor of the task that we are going to put before you.
Well,
Now,
what's going on?
well, you see, I've called you here to Paris because, well, honestly, I need you to get on a train tonight and leave. There's been some disturbance off into the mountains to the southeast, and it's particularly upsetting because we need that route. As you know, the Allies are trying to, at one point or another, reclaim the continent from the Germans, and unfortunately, there might be a snag in that plan. Even before we've started, we've received word from the leader of the French resistance in a small town in the mountains that one of her men was murdered last night. Clearly, we are not investigators of that sort, which means that this murder is not usual and may require the skill sets that all of you might possess. You see, 3 weeks ago, the SS rolled into town with a particular person, Dr. Ludwig Staltz. And ever since, things in that town have not been going well. He is working with a collaborator by the name of Maurice Darlan. It's unfortunate, is all I will say. Now, Maurice Darlan is distasteful at best, but we don't think he'd murder anyone. So when the French resistance sent one of their men to spy on a dinner he was having with one of the SS officers, we didn't think much of it. It's a dinner party. It's not going to be very entertaining beyond that. However, the man was murdered, mutilated, mauled to death by something. And I mean something and not someone. According to the reports, it's something we might expect from things that I send you after, Fern. What I'm going to ask you to do is twofold. I need you to go and find whatever it is that killed our man in Saint Bouchard, as well as find out why Dr. Ludwig Staltz is there. He's a particular fellow. He's not very tasteful. We're concerned that he's in France and why he's in France here at Saint Bouchard. He came in on the railway, and unfortunately that railway station is what we need. So we can't have any things, paranormal or otherwise, and certainly no SS officers interfering with us getting to that rail station eventually. So what I need you to do is get on that train tonight. I need you to find whatever killed our man, and also find Dr. Staltz, and figure out whatever it is he's doing in France.
Should be a piece of cake.
So you say this Maurice was targeted in a way by Staltz?
Well, when the Germans rolled into town, Maurice Darlan very quickly collaborated. He was the mayor, and he didn't want to lose his power, so as soon as the Germans came in, he bowed down. We don't particularly have any care for the man, but he does have certain uses, and it's his home that the SS are staying in, and it's at his home that the murder occurred at a dinner party that Staltz was having.
Mm-hmm.
So
I see.
he may be worth questioning.
I mean, if he's dead, he can't really do what he's doing.
Oh no,
no.
Maurice Darlan is very much still alive. It's our man in the resistance who was killed.
I'm speaking of Staltz. If he happened to stop being alive.
Honestly,
Just a thought.
well, I'd be fine with his death. Clearly, you are more than welcome to kill him. Our friends in the States, however, would like to question him. If you could keep him alive and leave him in the hands of the resistance until someone can come and extract him, they'd be very happy, but honestly, I'd be fine with him dead either way. There's nasty business out of Munich, we hear from Staltz.
I'll see how it works
To
out.
keep them both dead and alive.
He's got a point.
Bo, you are a pleasure to have. However, I don't know how many more ghosts we need to be dealing with in the middle of a war.
Well, I suppose you have a point. John, did you pack the skis?
No, I didn't. But we could probably acquire some up there, and this will be a great opportunity for me to practice my German.
Yes, I do believe, Tiger, Fern, you speak some amount of French and German, please, yes?
Yes, we do.
Bo speaks fluent German.
And
Yes.
French.
Yes, Bo speaks fluent French
He's been
and
teaching me.
German.
Listen, gut. That's good in German.
Das ist gut. Sure. Perhaps let Mr. Neville stay on the quiet side of things. Maybe your skill set lies elsewhere in the investigation than talking to the SS.
I don't know. I've seemed to done so far. Sure, whatever you say, madame.
Yes.
You're telling me
Tiger.
don't talk to the SS. I can follow instruction.
Oh, I very much doubt that. Tiger, Fern, if you could be so kind as to remember, Dr. Staltz is a particular favorite of Himmler. He is involved in some various and nefarious dealings that perhaps he might not... It might not be a good idea if he were to discover the existence of Mr. St. James here, as well as the abilities that Mr. Neville has. I believe that might be a little bit showing our hand, as it was.
I'm sure these two could keep a subtle use of what they can do.
See?
Sorry.
See? He's heard of us. He knows that we have subtlety.
Yes, that is what he's heard, obviously. Well, if there are no
Do we have a
objections...
contact out there?
Yes, the leader of the French resistance there is Brigitte Montpellier. She is the leader of the French resistance out there, and she is the one who contacted us to tell her about her lost man. She's who you should contact in town, and should hopefully get you on your way. She is particular, I will say. Please don't make her angry. We need the resistance help, especially in that region. So if you could not make the old woman angry, that would be lovely.
I have a certain charm with old women. They just love me.
They do.
I have no doubt of that, Mr. St. James. No doubt at all. If you would like to apply your charm, you go right ahead and try. I would love to see her deal with it.
I'm a pleasure. I don't know what all this tension is about.
Clearly.
Well, I think we have enough information to start. There's really not a whole lot of questions left. There's bad guys doing bad things,
there
and we're there
any,
to stop it.
Last minute things you might want to add?
Oh, well, there's a number of things you might do to prepare. I expect you all to go fully kitted out. Fern, you might want to bring the variety, just in case.
Not a problem. That is definitely doable.
And we're not looking for big and flashy here. We're looking for quiet, secretive. If you have to kill someone, well, that's fine. Honestly, we won't tell our friends in the States. But find out as much information as you can before you kill someone. Unfortunately, we don't have much time. Apparently, the man who's been murdered has already been reported missing, and the Germans are already looking for him. So, time is of the essence. A train will be coming in. Well, you'll arrive early in the morning. A train will be coming in that next morning to take you out. Unfortunately, there's no other safe travel out, so if you miss that window, you might have to stay in town for a while.
Well, there's always cross-country skiing.
Not all of us. He forgets that we have stamina.
Yes, I also don't know how cross-country skiing across occupied France is going to work out so well for our more corporeal friends who can be shot.
How droll.
Yes, quite. If only all of us could simply let the bullets phase through us as they can you, Bo.
Well, shall we get prepared then, Miss Fern?
Yes, there's a few things I need to pick up, make a bit more discreet so that I do not look like an arsenal on a train.
We should grab our skis.
Yes, of course.
For cover.
Yes, we can provide you with any cover and proper documentation to get you on the train, and through to town.
Fantastic. Well, I can get my things prepared and I can be out of here by nightfall.
Your train will leave at 10 p.m. So, whatever you need to do in town, whatever you need to do to get out of Paris, well, might want to do it faster than normal. The Germans are acting very particular at this time. We're not entirely sure why. Something to ask Dr. Staltz.
Well, I don't suppose we should all exit at the same time.
Oh, no, I thought we trained you better than that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to head out now.
I'm out the door.
I don't have any more.
I'm out the door already. I'm out the door.
I
So
said
we
I
won't
was
have
gonna...
that
Did you
discussion.
not hear the... Well, I said I was going to go.
You did say that.
He's not very professional. This is going to be very interesting working with people who don't really know their stuff like we do.
John, a word of advice. I'm going to tell you a little secret, is that Tiger Bilo is perhaps one of our more competent agents, and it would be wise not to make an enemy.
Oh, of course not. Everyone loves me. I'm a delight. Bo tells me that.
I'm sure he does. And the pair of you are a very particular grouping. But if you could tone it down just a notch, just a smidge, for me.
I don't know what that means.
I'm sure Mrs. Cutting can explain to you on the train what that means.
Are there drinks in here? Is there something to drink? I'm just curious.
Oh, I can get a bottle of wine for us, absolutely.
I would love that. Thank you.
Yeah. She'll get a bottle of wine for you.
Perfect.
Bo, you ready?
I suppose if it's back in the cane.
It's up to you. I mean,
It's
if you-
100% back in the cane. You came in the cane. 2 people can't exit.
Well, now I
Well-
don't want to go back in the cane.
Yeah, the trick is to get him to keep his clothes on when we exit. That's the trick. But
I'm regretting a lot of things right now, and I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to see all of you when you come back.
I swing the cane through Bo as the handle of the cane passes through him.
He disappears right into it.
Is he able to come out willingly, or do you have to tap it?
Well, it was fun hanging out. I'll see you on the train. And I twirl the cane and head on out. And right before I get to the door and open it, I twirl the cane and I just tap it on the floor twice. I go, oh shit, no, wait. And then not yet.
Bo peeks out of the cane and gives a little wave and then goes back in.
And then we leave.
They're going to be fun, Fern. Going to be great fun.
I'm going to give you the heads up. I am not a babysitter. If they die, they die. I'm incredibly sorry.
Luckily, one of them is already dead.
And if the cane ends up in a lake, incredibly sorry. And I'm going to fill myself a glass. I'm going to down that glass, and then I am going to kind of stand, adjust myself, and then I will leave.
That's us, Bo. Helping people slam wine.
I'm not here to taste it.
Absolutely. She lights a cigarette as you go and just shakes her head. And you all manage to do what you need to do in Paris to get yourselves out into the train by 10 p.m. I'm still talking in my received pronunciation. The train is going to leave at night. It's an overnight journey through Dijon and off towards the southeast, towards the French Alps, where the town is. Is there anything you guys need to do? Or shall we just train and go?
I think we could do that.
Train montage.
Train montage.
Yeah. It's always good to have a training montage.
I'm leaving. So you all managed to make your train. How late are you, John?
Actually, we're on time.
We're
Miracles do
professionals.
happen.
Well, if it's inquired why we're on time, we would warn people that it's never a good idea to piss off a train.
You do have experience with that. You all managed to board a train. Your tickets it's an overnight journey. You have 3 overnight cabins. 2 are next door to each other and 1 is across the hall. There isn't a whole lot of fuss on this overnight journey. German officers do check your papers as you're on the train, but they generally leave you alone once they verify and they're on. No one's very happy with an overnight shift protecting this train. And you have to travel throughout the entire night, and as the sun is just coming up, the train rolls into the station at Saint-Bouchard, sort of halfway up one of the mountains, and you all are going to begin your investigation of whatever is happening once you're in town. This is my warning to you in the audience that there is a ticking clock once they start in town for this certain investigation.
Before we start, before we get there, I'd have 2 questions for Bo.
Go for it.
One, do you want to start this out of the cane or into the cane? How do you want to play this?
Too much wind.
I want to talk to people, so let's start out of the cane.
Okay. We'll start out of the cane, but just remember what happened when the last time you accidentally floated instead of walked. So remember to do the walking.
Yes, no floating. The townsfolk don't like that.
Right. Do you want to carry your own gun, or do you want me to carry your gun?
No, sometimes I forget about it and then it falls out of my hands.
Right. Okay. That's I just needed to make sure where we were at.
Do we know if Fern is Fern Jewish?
I'm not sure if you would know, but Fern is Jewish, yes.
Okay.
You could probably see the distaste every time anybody even remotely German walks in.
So
not even
I'll say,
hiding it.
during the train ride at night, we are not together. Absolutely not. But Taiga will have a letter and kind of just flick it gently towards Fern's area, and it'll say
The letter.
and it says something like, "You've heard about the escaped Jewish people where we're going, right? They've left things behind. Just take note of that."
I write. I return reply. Yes, we'll have to see if we're able to figure out more about that, or at least location. Possibly, I'm sure Brigitte might know. And I kind of vaguely show it to you, and then I eat that letter.
I would be like,
And then
over
I
the
just put it
shoulder.
in my mouth and I just eat it.
and then I will walk away and wave at the people working.
Yeah, you see one of the stewards on the train is like cleaning a glass and just kind of staring and like, not my business. Like turns away. As they watch this very silent note passing, scribbling, showing, and then and
I'm going to have to kill that person. It's a shame.
And I'll just nod like.
I thought they were the professionals.
I walk around just like I'll actually walk to those people.
the steward.
Yes, just
The steward's like, oh
Guten
no.
Abend, in a slightly threatening tone before
Oh,
walking
no.
away.
Oh, bonjour.
Keeper, question.
Yes.
This ability to put thoughts into other people's heads, if they are willing to let me do that, is that do I still need to roll for that, or is that
If you explain to someone what you're doing and they're
specifically
willing,
thinking of Bo?
Bo is a problem because
'Cause he's
Bo
not
doesn't
people.
actually have a mind.
Oh,
He's not people.
That is apparent.
Yeah, no, Bo is not human.
Got it.
Bo is a ghost. So his mind is like almost like in stasis. Like his mind does not change in form in any way whatsoever. So it would be difficult for you to do that.
Got it. In which case, before we land, then before the train comes into station, I would go and visit each of the other two, and explain my ability to them. Not all I would say is sometimes I have the ability to think at people and they hear me. If you resist, it could go very poorly, but you could resist. But if I have information that cannot be said aloud, I would prefer you don't resist.
Then you may
I know
need
things.
a code phrase or something, or a symbol, so I know not to try and push out this assault on my mind. Because if
Would
I
we know
feel an
it's
assault
coming
on my
from
mind,
It's
I will
not
fight.
an assault. It's my voice. It's
An
the
assault
soothing
on my
gentle-
mind.
would we know if it's coming from you?
Yes, I think so.
Even if you don't say.
I don't
it.
know. I've never been on the receiving end. I've just been on the giving end.
So something can possibly copy this. Consider I'm just and give us false information.
I suppose if you're so easily fooled, that's something to keep in mind. Good to know. Good to know. But okay, never mind.
Just create a sign or a word or a gesture.
Yeah, just adjust your collar or something, Just
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Bo had a really good one. I could go like this.
I'm going to lean over to Tyga, and I'm just going to clasp their shoulder. They're your responsibility, and I'm going to walk off.
I think the sign will just be I'll tap my head if I have hands.
Okay.
All right.
That's fine. I'll walk away.
That's a good conversation, Bo. I really think that we're starting to come together as a group.
He doesn't answer from inside the cane.
You can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. This is normal.
This is just smashing. So, is there anything else you need to do on the night on the train?
I don't think so.
All right. So, warning's been given. Certain boundaries being set. You managed to make it through the train ride fairly. There's no real issue other than your brief existential crisis you gave a steward, who you have not seen again. He's staying very far away from you all. And as the sun is starting to rise, you can see it through the windows of your cabins. You have been going through various forests and countrysides, and you can feel the incline of the train as it's starting to have to go up a small approach, and then it enters a tunnel. And it's pitch dark for a brief moment, and as it comes out of the tunnel, you see this kind of pink and golden sky as the sun is starting to rise, and it slows to a stop at San Bouchard. You all exit the train, and you are stopped by two German officers who want to see your papers. They look kind of bored. They're young men. As you hand it, John, they snatch it and look at it and kind of look over at each other and mumble something in German. Shut it and hand it back to you and says, "Yeah, go.
Danke.
Next."
No,
I'll go up.
Do you want to go first? Yeah.
Sure. I go up and you try not to get yourself in trouble before you're even off the train, so I'm not going to throw this at them like I am inclined to. But it is just a firm, here you go.
They take it and they seem very used to this. Flip through your papers and look at you, and one of them elbows the other, and it's just like, and they hand you back back your papers, and they're just like, "Go, yeah, go."
I walk without saying anything.
Yeah. I will give my papers.
Take them from you and flip through. Kind of give you once over. Say, "You're far from home."
Indeed. It seems, Japan has sent me here to, and I'll wink.
Just a bunch of winks.
Please roll to manipulate someone.
That's charm.
Yes, so it's roll plus
I believe
charm.
That is just flat. 7.
Okay, a 7. They'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show you that you mean it. So as you say, they look, and one of them leans towards you and goes, "What do we know?"
Well, you know that we are collaborating, and we just need to have some information here, just to make sure operations are in order. It's a diplomatic arrangement between our countries.
Are you here to see Dr. Staltz?
Yes, this is indeed what I am here for.
We knew it! Absolutely. Okay. very excited to be in on a secret for once. It's a very boring job here, checking papers off of trains. Go on ahead. We'll let Dr. Staltz know you're here.
Yes, can I get your names?
Oh, yes. I'm Dieter. And he points at the other one who's like a little bit older than him and is very embarrassed at all of this. And he's like, and that's Franz.
I think it's best not to let the doctor know. He has too much on his plate, you know.
That is true. Well, good luck with the secrets.
Of course, we will be taking the world very soon.
Das ist good. All right. Enjoy your stay in this shithole of a town.
I hope it's not really that bad.
It's not that bad, but the people could do with a little liveliness.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes, off to the mission. And he waves you on through. And you guys exit the train station, and you are entered into this town.
Is there a public bathroom in this train station or somewhere that has like a room off to the side?
There is a water closet, like kind of off to the side. It's fairly small, but yeah, there is one where you can close the door and.
Yep, I close the door, tap the cane twice.
The bathroom, John.
It's the only option if you wanted to be here. Now here's what I'm going to step out, and if nobody's looking, I'll give a small tap on the door, and you can step out.
I'd rather you let me out in a closet, but...
Well, you can only come out of a closet so many times. So, I'll step out. And is there any traffic, like foot traffic here, or...
I mean, there's people, but they're not really looking at you.
Okay, I'll wait an appropriate amount of time and then knock on the door so that way, he has an opportunity to join us.
All right.
I really want to know what the appropriate amount of time is.
I do too.
Long enough that so that I can pick up whether or not anybody is observing me, so that way they would notice that two people just came out with only one person going in.
That's fair. So you wait that appropriate amount of time. Let's say like
this is not something that we're on. Like I am used to this. Like
this is like 55 seconds. Let's go with a solid 55, and you
not 60,
tap on the door. Yeah. And you all are in San Bouchard. If you look at our map, you're in the southern part of town here. I also have to open up my map that I closed. So you're at the southern part of town. You're at that like kind of bottom left corner. You had passed through the guard post on your way into town. That's where they ask you for your papers. And you all have been provided a map of town. You don't have the fun little dots on the map as this is, but you do have a map, somewhat old. Maybe it might be a little outdated, but it's what they could get for you. And the town is it's small, it's quiet, it's a little gray. The sun is not as rising as high in the sky as it probably could have. It's a little sluggish as well in this morning. Made for a beautiful sunrise, but it looks like it snowed last night again, which could be a problem for some of your investigation. And it's quiet. There are a few people kind of moving around. Some people got off the train with you. Most people stayed on the train going towards Germany. And there's some people milling about. You see, as you're moving, which direction would you like to head? North, east? Those are really your only options.
I mean, we're heading towards Brigitte's place. Do we know where that is? Because I know we don't have the dots. Do we have an idea?
Nope. You're just in town.
Perfect. Astounding.
Well,
I suppose we should probably check out a French bakery while we're here.
That'd be a good idea. I mean, it's a small town. We could just ask where... We don't want to just ask where Brigitte is. I have learned that draws attention. But we could maybe,
You can put thoughts into people's heads. Can you take them back? Can you read a mind?
On occasion.
Good to know.
Can I? I don't know. I don't know if I have to
Other
roll to read
people
people's minds. Do I have
walking
to
around.
roll?
You're gonna have to roll some weird to read
Okay.
people's minds.
So I can, but it sometimes doesn't go the way I'd like it to go. There's the incident. Never mind. But if you were to mention Brigitte, then and I knew it was coming, then I could attempt to read their mind to maybe gather some more information. But that is a risky proposition. Things could also, have the possibility to go poorly if they're not happy with me.
Right. I suppose we'll do it the old-fashioned way then.
Could
Actually,
send
a
Bo to
bakery.
do it. He's rather charming.
I'm sure the sweets have taken a hit, but we could head in, and we have a purpose. Find the bakery. Have a good time.
We know about who got murdered, right? Or
Do
we
you know
don't?
their occupation?
You don't know their occupation. You do know their name. The murdered man was Auguste Vincent. But other than knowing that he was a member of the French Resistance and he's now dead, you don't have much else to go on.
Do we know what Bridget's occupation is?
You know she's the leader of the French Resistance, but you don't know what her day job is.
I think
Nobody
we should
asked.
start walking east. I will just do that.
Okay.
Honestly, what if we pick a point where we know we will meet each other? Because we have to cover more
Oh,
ground.
we're splitting up.
Well, we don't want to be seeing 4 people walking around town,
you take
do
the
we?
boys with you, and I'll go somewhere else.
I mean, Bo could go with you, and he and I could, or they and I could go this way.
Does that work? How far does Bo need to be from the cane? Does that affect anything?
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
I thought he was mouthing fun.
We've tested that a couple miles, so nothing to worry about.
That should be fine then.
Okay.
We probably won't get that far away from each other. I will take Bo, and we'll go north. And maybe we'll sort of meet back up somewhere near the other side of town.
Yeah, we have a map, I'm sure. I would have a map.
Yes, you have a map.
I also have a map, but I'm holding it upside down.
You have fun with John. I will go with Bo. Let's go, Bo.
Bo will hold out his arm so that you can hold it while you are walking.
You can see that there's there is definitely a hesitation, and then well, it's good cover, and then I'll take his arm.
And you're heading east?
We're heading north.
You're heading north, and then the other two are heading east.
Yes.
All right. Let's go with... I have to look and see what is going to be more exciting. As you
North.
head north, Fern and Bo, you see that there are people going about their day. They kind of look and nod at you and then kind of realize that you're new in town and kind of furrow their brow, but they don't say anything to you. They don't approach you. They just kind of turn and whisper amongst each other as you're walking up the street, especially with Bo, who looks... do you still look a little out of place, Bo? Yeah.
Dashing for a long time ago.
Yes. And this being France, this is not completely out of the ordinary, but certainly not exactly what one would be wearing in rationed times.
How old does Bo look?
About 30.
Okay. I was just seeing how the distance on our ages, appearance-wise.
As you guys are heading north, and these people seem to notice you, you manage to make it up to one of the corners. I'll say you're not going directly north and following the wall of town. Mm-hmm. And there are a couple shops open. There's a cafe on one of these corners, and there's a newspaper stand with a small, I say small, with a kid who is kind of holding out newspapers. He's not shouting. This is not a place where you wish to shout. And so he's just kind of handing off newspapers, doffing his cap at people. You see that there is another young man who approaches and grabs a newspaper and is kind of anxiously like rifling through it. Seems to be about his day.
I think the best bet might be if we grab a newspaper. Get the goings on.
Of course, but unfortunately, I don't carry any of the currency around. That's John's. So if you can handle that.
I'm going to release his arm. I'm not being pampered. And I'm going to go up to the young boy giving out newspapers, and I'm going to give a bit of payment.
Okay.
Even if other people weren't paying, but I'm going to give him something.
As you approach, you can overhear the young man there going through the paper, and he's making small talk and just bonjour, François, merci. How is your mom? How is everything at home? Is she's still doing well? I know you said she was not feeling well the other day. Is she doing okay?
She is still sick.
Oh, I am so sorry.
She's not feeling well.
Does she need? Perhaps I could. Maybe I could get some soup. Maybe I will have my mom make some soup. Would your mom like some soup delivered, perhaps?
That would be very kind. We would love some of your mother's soup. Don't tell my mother though that I asked. She doesn't like the extra help.
I understand. I will see what I can do. Maybe not today, but I will try to get some soon.
Thank you, Phileas.
As this group approaches, would Phileas see them and
we look like a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
We look like weirdos.
There is a strange duo approaching you. There is a very outdatedly dressed 30-something man who's holding himself very properly, but clearly does not fit in the town. And a woman who is approaching you, like kind of going through her pockets to get some payment. She seems very sure of herself, and not the happiest, but fairly businesslike, and is approaching to get a newspaper.
Bonjour, madame, monsieur.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I'm going to give payment to the little newspaper boy. One paper, please.
Oh, absolutely. Here you go. That will be 3 cents.
I can do that. I do enjoy a good newspaper, keep up with what's going on. If I gave you 6 cents, what if you gave me the rundown of anything interesting that you've heard about? You have to stand on this corner. Seen anything interesting?
Oh, yes, I've seen many interesting things come into town. And she's kind of nodding back at Beau. But he's like, if you give me 3 whole francs, I will tell you everything you want to know about Saint Bouchard. He's like looking at Phileas and is like, don't tell them that's a lot of money.
I think that sounds, in my opinion, a deal. You look knowledgeable.
Absolutely. And he snatches the francs out of your hands and like tucks the newspaper into his back waistband. And he's like, so, new strange friends. What do you want to know?
Right. Let's start fun and interesting. Best place to eat in town.
Oh, best place to eat in town. Well, there is Gerard's. That's up north of town. That's very good restaurant, though he's not open until the evening. If you want a good cup of coffee, you'll want to go to Marie's. You actually passed it back there.
Right.
And if you want to cook yourself, you should go and see the butcher.
Understood. Any more questions? I feel like I've given so much money for only one answer. How about
You've
something...
only asked one.
How about something on the completely other side of the spectrum? Entertain me with... How about a spooky story?
Oh, a spooky story.
About San Bouchard. Anything spooky?
Oh, I mean, other than the Germans who are here, Phileas, do you know? You know better. Ghost stories?
Yes, Phileas, a ghost story.
Bonjour. Ghost stories are not my. I don't know any ghost stories. I don't. That's out of curiosity. Does Bo look like a normal person, other than just out of place in time, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Phileas is so used to all the regulars in town, is there anything I can do to, like, looking at these people to tell any insider information about them, or can I tell, for example, I know that Fern had been saying that you were going to wear stuff so that you didn't look like you have an arsenal, and can I tell that there's weapons or tell that there's a ghost or anything like that? Anything unusual about these people?
Go ahead and roll plus sharp for me. We'll do a minor investigate a mystery that is not the actual mystery, only the mystery of Fern.
Mini mystery.
Mini mystery. Okay, with an 8, you can ask one question. So what is it exactly you are looking for as you look at Fern and Bo?
I'm looking for, as soon as they talk about ghosts and the fact of what happened just so recently, Phileas is looking for anything supernatural.
Okay.
He's
absolutely.
I've got something.
Yeah.
So we tracked through probably a little bit of snow on the way over to you, and there's only one fresh set of tracks.
The Lord is with us.
I warned you to walk.
No ghost stories from me. But as was mentioned, the tavern, the pub, great for stories. So they say.
And where's the pub, Phileas?
Oh, just behind you, a few streets down. And I would mention that it is owned by, or that the Vincent family? The Vincent family.
Thank you very much. Bo, do you have any questions? I put down a chunk of change on info about this little town.
Whoever you small people are, you children, what is the best pastry at the boulangerie?
Oh, the best pastry. I don't know. I cannot afford the pastries usually. The pain au chocolat is very good if you like chocolate. But Daphne makes wonderful pastries. Anything you buy from her would be lovely. She's the baker's wife. She makes all the pastries and he makes all the cakes. So if you happen to go in, you can't go wrong with what you buy.
Beautiful.
Good
Thank
to
you.
know. Can I tell that Phileas seems incredibly nervous and suspicious?
Yes.
Just staring at footprints and then looking back at you and staring at footprints and looking back. And he's going to start backing away towards his motorcycle, which is probably like across the street or something, just like a little ways away.
All right, Phileas, you have a good day. And thank you very much for the information.
Thank you. Merci.
Makes a mental note. Well, I'm gonna have to kill that kid.
I just have a list now of just like, shit, God.
The steward's gone. You didn't manage it.
I have
There's
to get
still
back on
time.
that train.
Still gotta get back on the train.
It was a whole night, too.
We got a whole day.
That's why the steward's gone.
So, would you like
Fern
to
can do a
go
lot
to
of
the
killing.
tavern with me?
Of course.
Perfect.
Uh,
Put your feet on the ground. Just kind of like gritted teeth, like up close, feet on the ground. And I'm going to head in the direction very nervous Phileas sent me in.
Okay, you guys are going to go to the tavern.
Mhm.
Phileas, where are you going?
Straight to Sasha.
Okay.
There's weirdos in
absolutely.
town.
So Phileas kicks his motorcycle into gear and takes off. The rumble is a little bit loud on the street, but it's a very well-known sound in town. We're gonna hop over to Tyga and John, who are traveling east. And as you're traveling east, it's a little quieter on this side of town. As you're approaching kind of the shorter road, you notice that there's like an old wall kind of around town. It's crumbling here and there. And as you kind of curve around, you notice that there's less people out and about in this part of town. No one's really like out and walking and having nice genial conversation. It is quiet on the streets. And as you're continuing heading east, you do see out of one window someone flick a curtain back, give you a look, then flick it closed.
Is this at the doctor's office that we see this?
Yes, there is a doctor sign over this house. There is no open sign. It is not there. It is still early in the morning, but they flick the curtain open, give you a very brief glance, and flick it closed.
Mr. Nevo, have you been around France?
Yes, no, a little bit. I don't speak fluent French, but you do, so I speak some French, though.
That's good. I have been here before, a couple of months ago.
Here or in France?
Yes, specifically here,
Bouchard.
Oh.
And I've heard about this doctor. I asked some kid about him. He's a little bit out of sorts, strange. Maybe you two would get along.
Well, doctors are a prime source of information for a town. They often know what's going on, as well as if somebody was injured in whatever is going on, then they would know. While I'm saying that, can I look around? Not like I'm getting down on my hands and knees, just sort of glancing around to see whether or not there's anything blood in the snow or things like that. Just keeping my eyes peeled while I go around.
You're on the main road, so it looks like there's some snow on the sidewalk that's been kind of brushed off. But it's been 2 days.
Yeah, it's been muddy.
So there's nothing fresh.
Cool. So yeah, let's go talk to the doctor, especially if you know them. You know, doctors are professional and insightful and are good sources of information.
I haven't met this doctor personally. Only heard about this doctor.
Oh, they're of such great skill and repute that you have heard of them. That is even more beneficial for us.
He was just watching me from the corner, like across the street.
You do look strange in these surroundings, so that's fair.
Yes, but okay, never mind. It is a bit early in the day, though. Would you like to bother? Would it be appropriate, you think, to be bothering the doctor this early?
Of course. Why not? We're investigating a mystery, and the more that we know, the better.
I suppose we are on a time schedule.
I don't know how you normally do things, but I try to do information gathering first, and then execute the mission afterwards.
All right. I'm already like going to the
Yeah, as soon as I said, I
abode.
don't know how you do things. He's already walking away.
And
they're already walking away.
I will knock very softly on the door.
Just like a.
Just as a note, I am wearing over my suit now. I am wearing a trench coat, with large, like I could flip up the sides to cover like all the way up to my tripoli that I have on my head. So.
Wouldn't look
'cause it's
suspicious
cold.
at all.
Yeah, I know it's completely. Well, it actually isn't suspicious for the 1940s. I'm wearing basically a large coat because it's cold out, and I don't like. I'm thin. I'm super thin.
Yeah,
but yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, so after you knock, there's like a long pause, and then there's a
Maybe
voice.
they're not home.
Who are you and what do you want? It's like surprisingly close for how long the pause was.
Greetings. We come from outside of town. I can't. I'm trying to read this, but I can't tell.
Sasha's like yelling through the door. He hasn't
Whether-
opened the door.
Sasha is Axis or allies or something.
We seek a doctor's medical profession, medical opinion, a professional doctor's opinion. Bonjour, doctor.
There's a man yelling in English at your door.
The door creaks open. It's like there's a chain, and it goes to the point of the chain, and you see him like peer out. You need medical help?
Well,
Advice?
On what?
It's best not to be said on the street.
You gonna pay?
that I do.
All right. He unlocks the door and opens it and lets you into the very sparse, like, you can tell that this place, it's the first floor is a clinic, but it's like, is clearly was a house at one point turned into a clinic. And there's like some very threadbare chairs in a waiting room that at the front door that he lets you into.
Would I know about, I know about Brigitte, but would I know about any of the other collaborators of Brigitte in town?
You might know some of their names, who would be in the Resistance, and you definitely know Maurice Darlan's name. He is collaborating with the Germans.
Okay.
So you would know some of the names of people who work with Brigitte.
Okay. Would Sasha's name be on that list?
Sasha's name would not be on the list in the way that you might expect. That's what I will say. Yeah. Because when you last came through town, you spoke with Brigitte?
Oh, wait, you know where Brigitte is?
I think I wouldn't know where she lives. Right? That makes sense. Like, we would meet somewhere.
You would meet somewhere not her home.
Yeah.
So you would have had a location to meet her at.
Yeah.
She would not be like, come in and have a cup of tea. And the only thing that she would have mentioned about Sasha or the doctor would be that useful, flighty. And that's probably all she would have said that is at all neutral.
Okay. Dr.
Sasha Fyodorov, you are?
I am Taiga Bailo.
Taiga?
I'm actually giving my actual name.
Him?
I'm just here for intel. I was just sent here from somewhere in Asia.
Somewhere in Asia.
Yes.
What's your friend's name?
You can call me John.
All right. All right.
I think you've
Somewhere
seen
in
me
A-
before. I was here before.
You were here in town a few months ago.
Yes.
What are you doing here?
Well, tourist things.
Tourist things during
But
the
now
German
it's for
occupation
business.
from Asia.
I was sent to gather some information as a tourist. And now I'm here for actual business.
You came and visited as a tourist?
I see.
I like look at John and be like,
I didn't know you've been here before.
I just told you. Anyway, we are here because there might be, as a doctor of town, have you witnessed anything strange lately?
There's always strange things in this town.
When he says that, I would like to attempt to read Sasha's mind.
Yeah, you, as Sasha is starting to answer, you attempt to read Sasha's mind. You don't hear anything. Roll me plus weird. Roll a use magic check, because that's kind of what you're doing.
I'm using telepathy, which is one of my moves, but
Yeah, so that's roll plus weird, right?
yeah, it's weird.
Let's see.
So weird.
So weird.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8?
8 total.
Yeah, you roll to attempt to read Sasha's mind. You get like a weird hum, but that's it. And like, you know, this is not normal. Like, you should absolutely be able to read Sasha's mind, but you can't. You rolled well enough that Sasha probably wouldn't know. If you had rolled particularly poorly, it would be bad news all around. But yeah, you can't read Sasha's mind.
Would I know, based upon the feedback, whether or not this is potentially a monster?
It does not come off as a monster. Those usually, when you've read monsters' minds, it's
Or attempted to.
painful.
Okay.
And this is a nice hum. Just a
Has this ever
instead of
happened to
any
me before?
not this particular one, but like
But I've been blocked before.
You've been blocked before.
I
So
start-
you know
I just
Sasha's
want to
on the
scan
up and up.
around the room and see whether or not there's certain symbols I'm looking for.
There's nothing on the walls. But
The
that doesn't
clinic
necessarily
area
mean anything.
is very like clean. There's like a big curtain blocking off like the stairs and the rest of the house, and you can't see past that. But
Monsieur Sasha, I take it you've worked with Dr. Staltz here in this town?
no,
You have not.
no. Sometimes I get his men come down here to get shit sewn up when they shoot themselves in their feet, but otherwise, no.
I see. Well, we have some information. I'll get in close to Sasha
Leans back.
and like exclude, just subtly exclude John Evil. We have some information that some strange things have been happening in this town. I heard there was a murder.
All right.
Do you know anything about that?
No.
Well,
Well, while he does that, can I just wander off?
Sure.
Sasha's not going to let you wander. You can wander through the clinic, but he will not let you pass that curtain.
You can poke around the room.
Yeah, I want to, like, he's going to have to break away to stop me from wandering through the curtain.
Sasha will do that. Sasha will physically stop you from
Well,
getting through the curtain.
I'm not like aggressive. I'm not like, when you look at me, I'm not an aggressive looking
No,
person.
as soon as you
I'm
like
just
start
kind of like the bumbling idiot just walking around, and I go to peer what's behind the curtain.
yeah, and Sasha will immediately be like, "Hey, get out of there."
Oh, secrets, eh?
Do you like poking around in people's private spaces?
Very much so. Very, very much so.
Get out.
Okay. And I walk out. Leave.
Mr.
Which way do you
Neville,
walk out?
Back whatever the closest door is. Well, I'll go out the open door, and I'm going to continue to poke around. Like I'm going to just go to walk around the property.
Okay.
You can walk around the property.
Yeah.
What
This really bothers me that I
organization are you
can't
from?
read
Like,
Sasha's
you
mind.
say- Okay, sorry.
So I'm like I want to know why I can't read Sasha's mind. So I am now like looking for the clues as to who this person
Yes,
is.
you can
A
poke around the
random
property as
commoner in
they-
a town blocked my mind reading ability. Now I'm looking for clues as to who this person is.
Where are you from? You say you come from Asia?
Yes. Well, how am I supposed to not reveal anything? And I can't trust. Well, I would say I'm a paranormal investigator from the Philippines, and I was sent here.
Brigitte.
Yes.
As you guys are standing here and staring each other down, John, as you're poking around the property, you kind of like go around one corner. You hear coming down the street this rumble of the motorcycle, and it screeches to a halt outside the door that you had just left from in the front. And there's a pounding of feet, and the door is thrown open wider. And Sasha and Tyga, you turn and see Phileas.
Philia.
Phileas is taking off his helmet, and he's trying to undo his jacket, and his helmet's stuck over his eyes, and he's Monsieur Sasha, there's people in they came into town. They're talking to Francois. One of them you said before the battlefield. Do you remember the ones that are
And then
dead
I'll
on the
say-
field? They don't leave the
I'll say-
footprints.
Philia.
I'll say close the door.
I'll
and
come back
Phileas
in
will
when-
stop
You could
with
slip
his,
in.
Close the door.
Yeah.
Leave Neville
his
outside.
helmet. His helmet stuck over his eyes.
Sasha's
as
gonna
he's
like
trying to keep this
grab
down.
his helmet, yank it off.
Oh, pardon.
No, go on.
I'll
Yeah.
close the door personally.
Yes.
It's. I believe we've met before.
We. Yes.
I have a message for your Madame Brigitte. Tell her to stop using Philia for her chores. It's none of her business. Or she should not get him involved in her business. That's what I'm trying to say.
Where would we find Brigitte
I-
to communicate this message?
Feel one of us would know where she usually
Yes,
is.
you know, generally in the morning she might go and get coffee, and she would probably stop into the pub. She owns the pub; she does not run it, and she generally goes in to count the cash from the night before.
She's usually down at the pub.
Okay. I suppose it would be wise to
Yeah,
rendezvous.
I will tell her myself. I will start heading out the door and taking them with me. If you need to talk to her, come on.
Okay. Well, that went easier than I.
Is
Expected.
Phileas coming with us?
Phileas is following Sasha along behind, desperately trying to
So-
talk, but
Yeah,
But-
I look at Phileas. You were saying you had a story that you were talking about. What was that?
no,
No, you were very excited about some people, new people in town.
You're
yes.
a new person in
Train
town.
just came in. Lots of new people.
I glare at John Neville, but it's a signal to just read his fucking mind.
And I kind of try to I read the signal, but I need to ask him about murder first before I could but I have to communicate that with my eyes, and I'm like,
No one, just new people for to the town skiing, perhaps. It's good for the
so
town.
it's very exciting. Not very much exciting happening in town then. Nothing exciting happening in the last day,
No
2
murders?
days.
No, monsieur.
No murder.
When he says murders, I'll try to read Phileas's mind.
Roll plus weird.
Phileas will move as
6
close to
plus
Sasha
4
as possible.
plus 2.
Sasha puts
12.
a hand on Phil's shoulder.
With a 12, you hear that same hum from Phileas's mind. You get a little bit more of the feeling that like you can, as you like expand and try and read Phileas's mind, and you're a little frustrated because you couldn't read Sasha's, and you start hearing the hum, and you're like, God damn it. And like you hear other minds kind of out there kind of filtering through, but Phileas's is kind of clouded. You get some anxiety off of him, but for the most part, you don't get the words that you're expecting. And like, this is now weird. Now, not only could you not read Sasha's, you can't read Phileas's. This is frustrating.
While I have it open, I'm just gonna scan over to my partner here, Taiga, just to see whether or not I'm not like forced mind reading. I just want to see whether or not I get feedback. Like, there's like, am I broken? Is things not working?
Taiga, what are you currently thinking right now?
I'm probably thinking about murder.
Okay.
Yeah, you pick up a lot of murder vibes from Taiga. Like, you can clearly hear the kind of
Right.
train of thought of what Taiga is thinking, but not Sasha and Phileas.
What you do see is, even just from a cursory glance at Phileas, though, is he has no filter the moment you say murder. And he has just like moved right up to Sasha and just like shoulders touching Sasha, walking along and like I don't know what we're doing, but I'm walking with Sasha.
I lean down, so I don't have very far to go because I'm short, but I sort of lean down and I say, we already know. And I stand back up.
And are we walking? How are we getting there?
Yeah, Sasha
Yeah,
just
if you walk.
walk into. He locked the office to his clinic behind him, and he's just headed to Brigitte.
Yes.
Phileas can go ahead if he wants.
Phileas is walking with Sasha,
Okay.
kind of turning back to look at you, but walking with wherever Sasha goes.
Sasha, as soon as he's beside Sasha, Sasha like puts a steadying hand on his shoulder.
We would be walking behind them, and I would nudge John and say, well?
They're blocking it somehow.
What do you mean? What do you mean blocking it?
I will explain later.
Has this happened
Sasha?
before?
We don't talk about Paris.
I'm just like not gonna. We will stop right there.
Sasha? Monsieur Sasha? Where are we going?
We're going to talk to Brigitte.
Oh, is that okay? That's a good idea. Okay. Just so you know, buying newspapers at the town at the town square there. There were two people. Only one set of footprints. It sounded like the stories you were telling of the war.
Sasha like stops dead in his tracks, and then he keeps walking.
We're like right behind him. We can.
Yeah. One of you might have just like bumped right into him.
100% me.
I'm taking notes of everything we've seen
Absolutely.
and underlining like John's powers being wonky.
Mm. So yeah, you guys are headed towards the tavern. We're gonna hop over to the tavern, and don't worry, we will be taking a break shortly. And Fern and Beau, you were directed towards the tavern by Francois and Phileas. It is not happening. Like, there are some people sitting outside and having a cup of coffee. Inside, when you open the door, it's unlocked. You see that there's a man behind the bar who's currently like cleaning things. Seems to be some stuff has been left out from the night before that hadn't been fully cleaned up. And there's an older woman sitting at a table off in the back corner talking to a younger woman. They're both kind of like leaned in close, heads together, talking very seriously. And as you guys open the door, everyone stops and looks at you. And the old woman kind of nods her head at the man behind the bar and goes back to the woman. And the man behind the bar goes, yes, bonjour. How may I be of service?
Bonjour. Black coffee, I assume. I look to Miss Cutting.
We're new in town, and I'm gonna say that a bit loud. And I was just hoping, could you just pick me something strong, whatever this establishment maybe is known for?
Mademoiselle, do you want strong or strong?
Glances over at Beau and kind of like raise my eyebrows at the man. Strong, please.
Okay, that did not answer my question, but I will just pick you something.
I believe in you.
He's like, looks a moment at you and goes, oh, and goes and gets you a drink. And the old woman who's sitting at the table is like, she keeps glancing at you. Do you guys sit?
I would actually stay up at the bar and ask him a question. Sir, I used to have an old pen pal in this town, and, I was just hoping you could help me find her. Her name was, Brigitte. Brigitte Montpellier,
No.
Monsieur.
Monsieur. Not so loud. And the old woman who's having her head down with the younger one says, stop talking. Please stop talking to him. You are looking for me. Here, come here. Just like waving a finger at both of you and just...
I'm gonna pick up my drink and I'm gonna head on over.
This older woman, she's in her late 60s. She's sitting, so you can't exactly tell how tall she is, but her back is like ramrod straight. She's got steel gray hair pulled back in a tight bun. The young woman who she's sitting with seems upset. She seems not like she's having the best of times. They had clearly been talking about something serious, and the older woman seems annoyed at the interruption, but also kind of expectant. And she looks at both of you and says, yes, I am Brigitte. You are looking for me. Those are dangerous words to be saying in Saint Bouchard.
Well, old acquaintance, I was just hoping that we might catch up, like old times.
I don't know how it is that the British say, old acquaintance be forgot. I do not know who you are.
Surely you remember me. Beau St. James.
Beau St. James. All right, and you, mademoiselle?
Fern.
Just Fern?
Fern Cutting.
Fern Cutting. Lovely to meet you.
Of course.
Were you perhaps reminded of our acquaintance by a friend in Paris?
Why, of course. A close friend.
Oh, a close friend. It's always good to have friends around. You are here, of course, to talk to me and catch up. Is that it?
Nothing more?
Right. Amelie is she's very upset. I was going to finish my conversation with her, but it made me more prudent for you to talk with us about the goings-on in town. As you say this, the door of the pub... Sasha, how do you enter the room?
I just enter the room and yell, Brigitte!
Oh, you're popular today.
Need to speak with you.
I am popular every day. That is my curse and my blessing. Sasha!
Brigitte!
Yes, Sasha!
Good morning, Brigitte.
Who are these
Phileas.
strangers?
Phileas, so good to see you, my boy.
It's good to see you again, Phileas.
Oh, you are already acquainted?
I met him while I was getting a newspaper. Good boy.
He was
Brigitte.
very helpful.
Who are they? They say they're working for you. Who are they working with you? Who are they?
You didn't actually say that.
They... Mr. St. James, how did you describe us? Old acquaintances?
Yes.
Old acquaintances.
Yes. So, well, you could say they are working for me in this instance.
Stop getting Philia involved in your shit.
I simply made a phone call, Sasha. Phileas is a good boy. He does as he's asked.
He does, and you ask him to do things that could get him in a lot of trouble.
I would not put Phileas in any form of danger that I would not put any of my own children.
Your children must love you dearly.
My children are dead.
That is what I am talking about.
My children have been killed by the Germans, and I do not want to see any more French lives handed over to the Germans. However, it would not be prudent to be screaming about this in public.
No, it wouldn't.
You have new friends as well? Are they also old acquaintances? And she turns and looks at Tyga and John. And she is like, steel gaze at you.
Madame Brigitte, it's nice to see you again.
She looks at you, Tyga, and goes, yes, finally, professionalism. Welcome back to Saint Bouchard. She's not looking at you, John.
Before we
She has
continue,
no idea who you are.
we should perhaps I don't introduce John. We should perhaps find a more private area.
That would have been acceptable, except now you have all barged into my pub while I have been talking to poor Amelie. She is grieving, and we have much to discuss. Perhaps it is just simpler to stay here.
I turn to Stasha. Thank you.
Well,
was
then
that?
let's have a seat and get the
Acknowledgement.
rundown
That's
as
it.
quickly as possible before.
Yes, let's all have a seat, and we shall all get more acquainted, shall we? Do you all take a seat?
Yes.
I do.
Phileas will not take a seat. He'll stand wherever he thinks he's seen but not heard, you know?
You can take a seat at the bar, or stand and lean against the bar.
Sure.
Brigitte looks at you all and goes, so we have old friends and new friends. Lovely to see everyone. This is Amelie. It is her husband who was murdered by the Germans earlier, 2 nights ago. Well, the Germans, yes, they certainly are doing a bunch of murdering. We are not quite sure if it was them or not. But I was trying to get and assure Mademoiselle here that she is going to be, all her fears are be put to rest by us and now by you. Correct?
That's what we came here to do.
This is perfect. So, what do you need from us in order to stop the Germans?
I'd like to see the body.
She looks at you, Sasha, and says, that could be arranged.
Who are these people?
These are particular friends from Paris. They work with old friends from across the channel. If you hadn't gotten from some of their accents, they are working for us, with us, in order to stop the Reich. You may not care, as it seems your people are fine enough to have negotiations with Herr Hitler. So maybe it does not pertain to you, but it does to us. So can he see the body?
Yes, provided I can ask my own questions.
Certainly that can be arranged.
Ask any question you wish.
Provided my questions will be answered.
That can also be arranged. Yes, old acquaintances. You answer Sasha's questions. Sasha answers yours. We are all friends.
I don't imagine there's any much need to reveal or conceal information.
No concealing here. Perhaps Emily shall be, and as soon as she starts to turn to Emily, who's kind of looking between all of you, very confused. She's like, she looks at you, Phileas, and is like, you know her. She's upset. You have seen her over the past day, very worried. But before she can even say a word to you, the door opens, and in walks the largest man you have ever seen, in a full, long, black leather coat and a crisp hat on his head, and he fills the doorway. And as he steps in, a much smaller man behind him comes in. He takes his hat off in his hand and says, "Oh, we have guests. Wunderbar!" And you see, as you have, all of the agency members have been provided pictures of Dr. Ludwig Staltz as he and his bodyguard enter the tavern and close the door behind them. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Just to be clear, Stoltz is the small guy.
Wunderbar! Yes, he's the small guy.
What's
Well,
the
now I have
time
to kill two Nazis.
in
That's fine.
what time is it in game?
It is now afternoon. You
Wow.
guys came in. You've been traveling. So it's like 11.
Yeah, walking
Okay.
takes time.
Not actually
Not
afternoon.
so
It's
bad.
just 11. You've been having conversations. You've had to move all around town. And that was a thing that could happen in the morning. So it's 11 o'clock.
We did not. I feel like we have not done anything and time has passed.
I warned you.
We've been running circles around each other.
All right. Welcome back. You all managed to meet Brigitte, Emily Vincent, and the rest of everyone has come together just in time for the largest SS officer you've seen come through a doorway before Dr. Ludwig Staltz enters the room and says, "Ah, strangers, wunderbar! Welcome to Saint Bouchard."
Good
Don't y'all
morning, Herr
speak at
Doctor.
once?
I think I will stay quiet and leave the others to talk for now.
It's so lovely seeing new faces. Phileas? Yes? Bonjour. Have we not fully met yet, young man?
We have, but I thought I'd start with just seemed polite.
He grabs your hands and shakes it. Yes. Hello, young man. Good to see a strapping young man. You can't be more than what, 16?
Nearly.
Nearly 16. Almost age for army service.
Yeah.
This would be an officer, yeah.
He is an SS officer. This is Ludwig von Staltz. The SS officer with him is just big guy, seems to be his bodyguard, but Dr. Staltz has a special place, is what I'll say.
It's only one bodyguard.
Just one, but he's big. And Staltz is not a big man. He's tall, but he's very skinny. He's kind of lanky. His uniform is very well fitted to him, and he's not gaunt or anything. But he's wiry, more so than his big friend, who is big. And he looks around at all of you and just smiles.
John will stand up then and go to shake his hand.
Oh, yes.
Bonjour,
guten
officer.
Tag.
Guten Tag. And as he stands up to shake his hand, he'll actually step on his pants that are just a little bit too long and sorry.
Yes.
And I'd like to jinx Dr. Schultz.
Go ahead and roll me that. That's just a roll plus weird?
I don't know if... Yeah, it is a roll plus weird.
Okay, roll your plus weird. I'm going to pull up your jinx table as well.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
I rolled a 5 and a 2.
9.
On a 7 to 9, I hold 1.
Okay.
And I can use it for later. I already know what I'm going to use it for, so I'll tell you now so it can be worked in.
Okay.
The target loses something that you will soon find.
Okay. What are you trying to make him lose?
No idea. I don't know what he's gonna lose. It's just the whole concept is that this just sort of things work out for me. And so I'm jinxing the target.
Are you going to let me pick what he loses, or
Yep.
do you want to lose after this conversation?
You pick, because I have no idea how this ability works. It's just you can encourage coincidence to occur the way you want. I don't know how I want it at the me, so maybe along the way. Yeah,
This is good. I got something in mind.
All right.
I was actually about to pickpocket him, but anyway.
Ooh, you don't know that I'm doing
do
this.
that
This is like all
Nothing
powers
says
in
you
my
can't
head.
do too. Just more chances for failure.
Yeah, this is all in my head. Not. There's nothing visible about this at all. It just sort of works out for me.
Yeah, you trip over your pants leg, and he kind of catches you by the arm and goes, clumsy new friend. Willkommen in. Are you here for business or pleasure?
I look over at Bo.
Pleasure, of course. We were hoping to enjoy some of the skiing season here. I hear it's just divine.
Oh, yes. The skiing is wonderful. Just absolutely marvelous. So, you all are?
I'll stand up and walk over to Dr. Staltz and introduce myself. I am Akashi Motohiro. I was sent here by Japan. There were some talks, and I'm just here to scope out the situation, you know? It's a diplomatic thing.
Oh, yes, diplomacy. Just wonderful. And you're talking to Mademoiselle Montpellier?
I have been talking to different people around town. Just happened to be here. It's about to be lunch. I'm curious what local cuisine you have.
You know, you should come with me and have lunch up at the manor. That would be
Ooh.
wonderful.
That's
I
right.
would
love
love to know each
others.
My
And,
vodka.
Oh, yes, Sasha?
yes.
Oh, Sasha just cuts in when Taiga says that and says, trying some of my vodka, as you know.
Oh, yes. Our doctor here is quite the handyman at making vodka. Is it just vodka?
Vodka.
Yes,
Vodka.
yes. Don't worry. He leans over to you, Taiga, and says, "We have better stock up at the manor. I was here to ask some questions of Madame Van Zandt here. So, and he looks over at Emily, and and before he does that, Phileas, you've already moved over to her. I think you've probably you know what's up. You absolutely know what's up. You can have a word with her while they're all doing that if you'd like.
Yeah, Phileas would just move over. This is all there's so many important, powerful people here. He has no idea what's going on. He'll just move over to the one person who looks sad in the group, Emily, and I would like to roll a trust me
Ooh.
while these conversations are going on, to try to have her exit while they're all talking. But that's maybe too late at this point.
No, I think you can. While Taiga is introducing themselves as not Taiga, and you can absolutely do that.
9 plus 2 is 11, and on a plus 10, they'll do what you say they should. No questions asked.
Okay, what are you telling her?
So I would come up to Emily and I would say, Emily, I think it's probably best if you and I go out the back, because this doesn't look like a very safe place for us right now.
She looks at you and kind of nods her head, and as the rest of the group is talking amongst themselves and discussing vodka, you slip out the back door, and Brigitte kind of gives you a look, and it's just and she stands up as you guys slip out. And so when Dr. Staltz turns to look at Emily, you're gone. You're out the back door. And so as the whole group turns, Phileas and Emily are not there anymore. And Dr. Staltz frowns.
Can I
He looks-
can I read this bad situation? Does it work that way?
You can absolutely read a bad situation. In fact, everyone who's still in the room should read a bad situation.
Yeah, that's, I was
Yes,
waiting
yes,
for an
yes.
opportunity to jump in and be like, is this a bad situation? Is this time for this?
Is that sharp?
Read a
Cool.
bad situation is...
Oh, it's yeah, it's sharp. It's sharp. It's sharp. It's
Oh, it's sharp?
cool for me. It's cool for me.
it's cool for you, sharp for everyone else.
Sharp for everyone else.
9.
9.
9,
10.
10.
It's not a 12 plus.
Bo, what'd you get?
13.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
So
Wow.
those of you who got 7 to 9s, you get 1 question. Anyone who got a 10 or up, hold 3. So you would get 3 questions. Let's start with our 7 to 9s. Anyone, you can either ask 1 question jointly, or you can ask, 2 of you got 9s?
Yeah, I got a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, you all got 9s. Why don't you all, you can either as a group come up with which question you would like to ask me, or you can individually ask me questions. And if it's a repeat, then I will, oh well, sorry. It'll be based on what your character wants to know about this immediate situation.
Do you want us to whisper them to you?
No, we'll go ahead and you could just tell me. So, John, you got a 9? John?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. What would you're just right on top of my screen here. What would you like to ask about reading this bad situation?
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
You see this moment, and it's almost like everyone just pauses, and you can see that a danger you haven't noticed is that the man who was behind the bar, who had been serving drinks, has his hand under the counter.
Danger to us, or just danger period?
It's just a danger. You don't know who he's be dangerous to. You don't know this man. Okay. Sasha, you got a 9?
Yes, sorry. I'm going to ask, what's the best way to protect the victims, meaning Phileas and Emily, as they get out?
Yes, absolutely. The best way to protect the victims is to stall Dr. Staltz and get him to not want to go after them. The best way of doing that is probably to distract him.
Mm-hmm.
Who else got a 9? Fern?
That'd be me. Fern's mind is just screaming the whole time. It's just screaming.
It's that
just
scene in
war
Inglourious
drums.
Basterds,
It's just war drums.
Hans Landa has walked into the room.
It's just like, I could be a martyr today. I would like to know about the weapons I can see on Schultz and the bodyguard.
Staltz has a pistol at his hip and a kind of very shiny knife. Also, it looks kind of decorative, but it's a great big hunting knife on his hip. The tall guy, the SS officer who is his bodyguard, has two pistols on either side. One of them is looks like it can pack a pretty heavy punch, but the other one is a little quicker. It's smaller, but he's got big hands, so how small it is could be relative. But they're all armed. But right. Staltz only has one gun and a knife for some reason. And the bodyguard has his hand, as soon as people moved. It's just been there. He's staring. He's not even really looking at anyone. He's just staring at the door that Phileas and Emily left from. Okay. Our pluses, you guys get extra. So, Tyga, what did you get?
I got 10.
Okay, 10. You can technically ask 3 questions, though both of you get to ask 3, and that might go through all of them. So if you want to either split the 3 or hold on to them later in the situation, you can.
I want to ask, what was the SS presence in the area? Would it be possible that a scuffle would go unnoticed by them?
Yes, you would know that should guns be fired, this is a bad time. If Staltz is here, that means that there's at least German soldiers nearby, if not more SS officers. You hadn't seen any SS officers in town yet, but you also hadn't seen Staltz, and here he is.
Okay. I want to ask, what's most vulnerable to me? In terms
what's
of
most vulnerable to you?
In terms of what I can.
Your most vulnerable thing right now is your cover. Is you have claimed to Dr. Staltz to be a emissary of the Japanese and presumably on his side. And so should this go down, you might have to pick a side here, depending on who gets out of it. Luckily, most of the people in the room kind of also know who you actually are, but you're vulnerable to Staltz because you have just made a claim to them.
Since I am about to, maybe I might pickpocket, what might be the best object I might be, the most successful thing I could take?
There's a few things that you could take out of his pockets. Would you like to try?
I think I'll do that. If we do decide to go to the manor, then okay. I'll do it then.
Okay, on your way. All right. As everyone has this tense moment and you all evaluate, Staltz looks at you all, and his face, as soon as he saw that Emily and Phileas had left, drops, and he looks mad, and then he goes, it seems She slipped away.
What do
So
you need to talk about
I'm-
her with?
Oh, it seems her husband is missing.
The butcher.
Yes,
Really?
the
He's gone
butcher.
missing.
He's gone missing. His sister has reported his body to me, or lack thereof.
You mentioned the butcher, and then you also mentioned lunch. What are you serving today?
Me?
Uh,
Would you like to also come to lunch?
Oh, I thought you'd extended the offer to the whole of us.
That is a lovely idea. I'll have you all up to the manor for lunch.
Lunch would be great.
The drink hasn't left Fern's lips the whole time. It's just been like, and if my face ever contorts, it's like strong drink, but it's just my hand slowly tightening. Like I'm about to do something. I'll wait.
I don't need to go up for lunch. I am a klutz of no value and importance, so I'll just...
Oh, but you are new in town, and new faces are very exciting.
I'm going to finish my drink, and I'm going to kind of give a bit of a slouch, and I'm going to nudge John, who's kind of like to the side of me, and I'm like, a terrible klutz, and I'm going to laugh, and I'm going to slam my hand down on the table and break the glass under my hand. And now I just have a wound, just a cut in the hand. I'm going to try and aim for the side.
Oh. Dear.
Oh,
Go ahead and
God.
act under pressure.
Act under pressure?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep, roll plus cool.
11.
11. Okay, you do what you set out to do, which I am assuming is cause a distraction so that you could get out of here.
Yes, I'm trying to get me out of here and maybe some others if they were willing.
Did you cut yourself on that glass?
Oh gosh, I'm
That
so
seems to be
sorry.
quite a bit of blood. I think I should take her back to the clinic and stitch her up.
Do you need help?
Thank you so much. I'm gonna
She might
stumble on
need
my
someone to support her.
Doctor, it's very gracious of you to invite me and perhaps some of us here to lunch.
Yes, is this your friend? And he's gesturing to Bo.
Yes. I have just met this person here. It seems like he's also a tourist of sorts. I think it's a good time to have lunch.
Tourism! What a wonderful industry. All right, then we'll go to lunch, and I'll have to catch up with Madame Van Sant later. And Brigitte is kind of like also getting to her feet and her hand on your elbow, Fern, and goes, yes, we should all get lunch separately. And
Yeah, I want to help Fern out.
I'm going to look at Tyga and I'm going to just a brief eye contact of, do you want me to try and get you out of this?
I don't know if
Sasha, go ahead.
I'm like saying it's okay, like with my eyes, like, or maybe even nodding, micro nodding, like it's okay, I've got this.
I'm already mourning you. Cool. I allow myself to be escorted
Sasha's like
out as
already
I,
got Fern
bring
by
my
the hand and is like shuffling her to the door.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the incident. I'm incredibly sorry.
oh, you poor
and-
thing, that you'll have to come to dinner instead. You
Yes.
miss lunch, you'll come to dinner, and we will entertain you with the best of San Bouchard that we have to offer. And Sasha, as you're kind of leading Fern by, you have to squeeze past the very large SS guard, and Staltz like turns and goes, "Isn't that right, Gunther?" And Gunther looks down at you, and
Sasha just like,
and he just nods, and he says, "Dinner."
I
And
can't
looks
wait
at
to
Dr.
see you.
Staltz.
Can't
Sure,
wait
it'll
to
be
see you
delicious.
later, Gunther, for dinner. Very nice.
He just nods at you. It does not no one talks to him usually.
Me, Gunther.
He's like, I have a schedule. I have a life. I'm a human being. No.
Somebody finally acknowledged.
Someone other than his master has finally talked to him, yes.
Yeah.
But no, Gunter kind of lets you slide by. His hand is on one of the pistols at all times. And you manage, with John and Brigitte's help, get Fern out the door. And Staltz looks back at Tyga and Bo and goes, well, let's go up to lunch. I have a car just around the corner. Maybe we'll be able to spot young Monsieur Phileas and Madame Vincent. We could pick them up along the way. Yes, let's do that. And he goes out the
Great
front
idea.
after a moment, and Gunter leads. There is a car outside. Phileas, you slipped out the back, though, right?
Yes, out the back for sure.
Okay, so Sasha, John, and Fern and Brigitte are going off to the doctor's office. Tyga and Bo are off to the manor with Dr. Staltz.
Off to death.
The whole time as we walk to the doctor's office, it's like a dam has broke on Sasha, and he's just like, that Staltz guy. He's no good. It's a rumor from a friend in Berlin. He's just no morals. I don't know what he's doing up there. This is bad news. I hope your friends are all right. I think there's shit in the woods. He's just going on and on and on.
I'm definitely going to let. I think a good skill to have is to let people who want to talk. And I am just going to take in every crazy thing said at me, and maybe later we'll be able to pull out some actually useful pieces. So I just let Sasha talk the whole way. And after we get outside and he gets in his car and drives off, it's basically turn a corner, stand up straight, kind of gripping my own hand.
Fern, you have taken one harm.
Okay, that's fine.
You did that to yourself. I wasn't going to make you roll against that.
That's fine. I was like, I got to get out of here. Somebody's getting hurt. It should just be me right now.
Yeah, so Staltz, Tyga, and Bo get into the car and start driving off. Dr. Staltz kind of leans back and looks over his shoulder at you all and kind of scanning the street for Phileas and Emily, but doesn't see them as they're off and up the road. John, you notice that as they're driving off, something falls out of the car.
1 second. I'm going to just walk over and pick it up.
It is a small envelope that is sealed. It's stamped with a couple different various postages, both from Poland, Germany, and France. It's in German, which you don't know. You don't know what it is addressed to, but it is some sort of letter that seems to have fallen out of someone's bag.
I will pocket that, and we will rejoin the group.
Okay, Phileas, what are you doing with Emily? You're back in the alleyway behind the pub. You've managed to slip out, and you heard the kind of commotion in the pub as it got very quiet, and then they started talking again. A car has just taken off in front of the tavern.
If the car has taken off, then I would. I don't know if you make me roll, but I have the "Let's get out of here" roll that I was thinking. I would take Emily either to Phileas's home or to Sasha's. I'm thinking Phileas's home because Sasha was just seen, and that's also where Emily's.
That is where the body is.
That's where the body is. And I think he would take them. I think Phil's house is closer, anyways. So quickly there. That's where he'd head.
Yeah. So you head off home. It's the afternoon. You manage to take Emily by the hand and are leading her off towards your house and just calming her down as you go, because she is looking back and forth from I was just talking to Brigitte and now this
there's things going on. I'm not sure what it is, but my you should stay this evening with my parents. They are David and Adele. My mom's making soup tonight, and you could have some soup if you just want to wait. And I will go find out from Brigitte what's happening.
Phileas.
Yes.
Phileas, you're very sweet. You're a very sweet boy. And I think you know more than you're letting on.
You know what? I've heard many things. What I know is that it's probably best to let Sasha and Brigitte handle it.
Phileas, does Brigitte have my husband's body?
No. Brigitte does not. No, she does not have it. No. There's soup. I think it's turnip.
Phileas, I appreciate the food offer. However, you must understand, I know my husband is dead.
Yes.
His sister has reported on it to the Germans. That is a problem. They cannot find his body. They cannot know we were there.
Pardon? We can't know we were where? Oh, you were there.
Yes.
You were there too.
I was there.
That night.
We operate in pairs.
Oh, you are with Brigitte.
Yes, I am with Brigitte. We are part of the Resistance.
Oh, yes.
Says on the main street.
They're like approaching the house.
Quietly
She's
in and
not
out.
like yelling. She's just like,
I am part of the Resistance.
she's had a time. I was there that night. August sent me away when the gunshots happened. I do not know what happened to him after, other than he was covering my escape.
Oh, I see. Okay, then maybe you know what we should do then. What do you think we should do? Do you need...
I will go to your family's house. Staltz would be looking for me. I think it is correct to lie low. You should know. Staltz and Maurice Darlan were having an argument as the gunshots were ringing out. That is unusual. Maurice does not argue with the SS. Something is worrying him.
Okay.
I could not tell what it was. August may have known, but before we knew it, there were shouts, there were gunshots, and I had to run. And August knew what he was getting into. I know what I'm getting into.
I don't know what I'm getting into. This is a lot. But I will tell Sasha.
Just, Phileas, do not get more involved than you need to be. Be a messenger. Bring this to Monsieur Sasha and Brigitte. They will know what to do.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I am sorry for your loss.
Thank you. People die every day. This is occupied France.
Not
We'll
today.
be sad about it later.
He's-
And yeah, she's chewing you off.
He'll knock on the door. Mama, guest for dinner? And
Oh, mon chéri! And like you hear her as she's like turning to welcome you as you push Emily in and close the door. And you're off to Sasha's?
Off to Sasha's.
Okay. Is the rest of the group going back to Sasha's?
Sasha's
Mine
like
is
in the
both.
middle of telling you about like this massive wolf that he killed, that it was corrupted and just filled with toxins and it was terrible. And you know, the animals around here, they're acting crazy. You should
A wolf.
always a massive wolf.
How massive as in abnormally large?
Yes. It's oozing like poison and things.
Killed it around here.
No. I was elsewhere a few years ago.
Could you stitch this up for me? And then I would like to see something, that we have spoken of.
Yeah. As soon as we get in, Sasha will, I will make the doctor's bag check.
And then I lose my finger.
Septus sets in fast around here.
Wow, I don't know
is
what
that
happened.
cool? You never actually told me.
Your doctor's bag would be sharp,
Hell yeah.
I believe.
Okay, cool.
Because you're trained. Like, you do know how to do this.
Ooh, 11.
11, yes. It's a little rough. Like, you don't have anesthetic, but Fern is
Sasha
probably...
just like pours some vodka on it and gets to stitching.
Fern's like just kind of zoned out, like goes to just another headspace while this happens.
Are you at Sasha's office?
Yeah.
Doing this? Okay. So you all huddle back into the doctor's home, and Sasha immediately just like splashes some vodka on Fern's hand and starts stitching. He is very practiced at this. Like, it looks rough, but clearly has had some training. And like still rambling on and on about various things that he's seen around town.
While he's starting the stitches, I say I still would like to see the body.
I also would be interested in seeing the body.
Brigitte is kind of standing there just going...
Does this cure
don't
my
worry about
injury?
them. They'll take care of themselves.
Sorry,
Are
what
you
did
sure?
Fern say?
Does this fix my 1 damage?
Yes,
Yes,
with an 11, that fixes your 1 damage.
Hooray!
Technically heals 2.
Technically, but you only took 1.
I only took 1. I'm just pleased with that roll.
I'm going to head down to the cellar. I want to look at this body.
Yeah,
the
Sasha was
second-
just like, it's over there. You can go down the stairs there.
Brigitte will go with you. She knows what's up.
As soon as I'm available, I will also go down, but I'm going to get my hand cleaned up first.
Yeah, you guys can spend a moment there. And John, as
Sasha. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
go for it.
Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Well, I was gonna say, Sasha, the body. You know, it's strange. It was not done. It was ripped apart, but not by like a beast. It seemed human like, and it smells like undead.
I will have to take a look at that.
Yeah.
I will most certainly have to take a look at that.
And as soon as you all are gathered together, you could go down into the cellar. Brigitte opens it up for you, John. And you all manage to go down to this very kind of cold. It is winter here in France. And it's not the driest, but it's cold enough where things have not gone bad in the past 2 days, any worse than they already have. Did you cover up the body before you left, Sasha?
He rewrapped it and then took it down to the cellar and like put it on a table down there.
Yeah, so you had laid out this body on the table, and Brigitte just kind of motions to you, John, and says, "Help me with this." And you lift the body and unwrap it enough to reveal, and she puts her hand on it just once before you completely unwrap it and says, "Are you prepared?"
For?
It is not a pretty sight.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And she flips back the canvas as you all are coming down the stairs too. And you all can clearly see that this body, it's now far less blood in it. Everything is kind of pooled on its back. And you can see kind of like bright, not bright, but like dull spots of red and purple where the blood has kind of congealed down in the skin. And this body, August is hollowed out almost in his stomach. From the bottom of his rib cage down to his pelvis is just an open wound. And it's almost like you could pack stuff into it. That's how much had been taken from him. And his face is still stuck in this kind of look, like you've probably closed his eyes, but his mouth is open. Not like he was like, no one said anything about screams, because there's a gash across his neck that is deep enough to clearly see that vocal cords were ripped out. And so it looked like something went through his neck and then went through his stomach and are missing pieces. If you all are looking at the body, you can go ahead and investigate a mystery.
So
Sasha's gonna like start like pointing out all the things he saw. Like it's clearly calculated. They took things from him. It's smart. Whatever did this.
So as we unwrap the body and I start looking, and Sasha's there. I pull out a small magnifying glass from inside my coat and just start going over the body. And I'm looking to see how deep the gashes are in the neck. Does it look like claw, fingernail? I asked Sasha, do you have a tape measure or something? I need to see how deep this is. And I'm looking on the rib cages to see for chips and marks. Are they rendered? Are they, stuff like that. So as far as like professionalism from John, this is like the only area that he's actually kind of decent at. So he just, we are rolling sharp.
Investigate a mystery.
I got 10.
11.
11.
Again.
5 plus 4 plus 2, 11.
Okay.
Damn.
So you all get hold 2. So you get to ask me 2 questions from Investigate a Mystery list. If you want to come up with a slightly changed question from that, you can as well. I will also say that Phileas, as they are investigating this and starting to poke around, you arrive at the house and there's no one in the house, and you get the sense that they're probably down in the cellar. You can choose to go down in the cellar or stay in the house and wait for them.
I will, if I can hear them downstairs talking or anything, I will just make sure that the rifle, my dad's rifle, is all good to go, and I will sit at the front, kind of watching out the windows.
Okay.
I still have Bo's gun.
It's okay. Bo probably should not bring a gun to lunch.
Yeah.
So with your 11, with your very good rolls, you all get to ask me 2 questions.
I'm ready if everybody's cool if I go first. Okay, so I'm looking at the list.
Yep.
And the thing that interests me most. It's kind of a twofer on this one, kind of vaguely. What sort of creature is it, and have I encountered it before?
Okay.
Kind of as one squish question.
Yeah, so for what sort of creature is it? As you're investigating the kind of wounds and things, it clearly looks like the neck wound was slashed. Like it doesn't look like knives. It looks like incredibly long fingernails, almost like fingers had been distended, nails had been kind of either sharpened or jagged, and it just clawed in under the windpipe and just ripped that out. The stomach wound, however, looks different. Once the vocal cords had been removed, it looks like something bit into its stomach to open him up and then just reached in and pulled him open to get at what it wanted. You have encountered some creatures like this. You know that there are creatures that would do this and wouldn't do this. You know that no vampire is going to be interested in organs. They would have just gone for blood. And no ghost is going to be operating in this violent of a manner unless something were to have made it enraged. For the most part, this is something that the undead do. This is something that Wendigos do, and what werewolves do.
I would, because I've seen one of those things incredibly firsthand, do I think it leans in that direction?
Remind me which one of the things.
That would be more towards werewolf.
You would have said that this looked like a werewolf until you look at the teeth marks. These are not jaws like a beast. These are jaws like a person.
All right. Feel like I asked a lot of questions. I'm good.
Okay. Sasha or John?
I will ask. I want to ask, where did it go? But I don't know if I would have enough clues from this to ask that. I'll ask it anyways. Where might it have gone after doing this?
So looking at the wounds and looking at you recognize that it had been interrupted. Is that if no one else at the manor had seen what happened, if that is the case, then this beast must have either run off into the woods or somehow gone underground. And Sasha probably knows that there are sewers in the town. He hasn't explored them entirely that much because it's kind of a weird thing to be seen doing, and like even for
Also,
Sasha, that's
probably
a weird thing.
wet.
Yeah, very much so. And so there aren't that many options for where it could have gone. It's either disappeared back into the woods or it has somehow gone underground.
Okay. What is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here? I will say that looking at the body and knowing what you know about August and some of the goings on in town is that if he was working for Brigitte at the time, he and killed in this manner, he probably stumbled upon something or got caught up in something he shouldn't have. Yes, he was spying, but clearly, and like if you turn to look at Brigitte, she's white. She does not, this is not her normal business of sorts. Like murder, fine. Shooting a Nazi in the head, fine. But this happening is a little weirder. And you can tell that this was not what she was expecting August to have encountered. So she is unprepared, and it looks like there is something deeper here that the people in town don't know about.
Okay.
And that August stumbled upon it and was not supposed to be there.
Cool.
What can hurt it?
From what you can tell from these sorts of like bites and slashes, the wounds don't seem like they're any bigger than anything like a normal person. The bite marks are not larger than normal. It looks seemingly like it could have been some sort of humanoid. And you would probably know from your encounters with monsters in the past that generally the things that hurt humanoids who are monsters is remove the head, shoot it with silver, or take its heart. You're not entirely sure which one.
Got it.
Until you see more of the monster.
And then I have tune in. Before I ask my second question, I'd like to try to use that.
Go for it, my dude.
Sorry, dice fell off the table. 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus weird 9. On a 7 to 9, I hold 1.
Okay. Let me look at your stats. So what are you trying to do?
I can attune my mind to a creature, and so I'd like to, it's not on the list here, but if it's all right, I'd like to see if I can't figure out what this creature is by just sort of reaching out and tuning into it, and with what I have in front of me. If that's not in the scope, then I do have one off of this that I can pick.
So I will tell you that sort of question, because you don't have, you would get a description of it, like you would get an image of it in your head, but that's all you'd get from that sort of question. You don't necessarily know, like you might have seen a monster like that before, you might not have.
Then in that case,
so it might not do the name.
Who is it going to attack next?
Perfect. You tune in to this monster, and you settle yourself, and you open your mind to whatever it is that you do, and you clearly get the sense that you are suddenly looking through something's eyes that aren't your own, and you feel like this wet sensation and like this scraping feeling against the bottom of your feet, almost like you're not wearing shoes. And you look up, and there's this grate above you, and someone is walking over it. You push up with all of your strength, and you see this clawed hand grab someone above and yank, and you all hear a scream. Everyone hears a scream around the corner from Sasha's office.
I'm at the window. Can I see? I'm going to immediately look to see, and I've got my rifle Trying to see if I can see
You
anything.
see that from down this street, that someone was walking down this alley. This is Christine Vincent, who seemed to have been sneaking up to Sasha's office, but she has. You look and see that she's kind of hunched over, grabbing at her leg, and around her ankle is this long, gray and mottled hand that had been jutted out of the sewer and is trying to yank her in. And we're going to swap over to Saga and Bo for a second. And deal with that in a moment. And you guys can... I want to do this so that you can think about combat, because it's different from how we normally do combat. And so, as all of this is happening, all these fun and interesting things are going on, Bo and Taiga, you have been driven up to the Darlan Manor, this estate that's just outside of town. It is a very opulent but kind of run-down manor. It looks like someone has not fully been taking care of it completely. And Dr. Staltz is just kind of smiling at you guys, not saying anything currently, just looking and observing at you all. And as you get to the manor, Gunter opens the door for Dr. Staltz and you all. And out of the front door comes a very kind of harried-looking man. He's dressed very nicely, but he says, Dr. Staltz, and then looks at you both and goes, "Oh, did not expect company. Are we having lunch?" And Dr. Staltz says, "Ah, Maurice, yes, we are having lunch and I have brought friends." And Maurice Darlan looks at the both of you and goes, "Great. Welcome to my home. Come on in." And you all enter this very nice, very posh, kind of dusty smelling manor, where Maurice and Dr. Staltz kind of are... Maurice is staring down Dr. Staltz, and Dr. Staltz is just not looking at him, and says, "All right, so lunch. Maurice, is it ready?" And Maurice goes, "Yes, but I needed to talk to..." And Staltz goes off into the dining room.
I will say, no worries for me. I had a large breakfast, that boulangerie in town. Just the most wonderful croissants.
Oh, well, you must join us for lunchtime conversation then.
Oh, but of course. So what is it that brings a hair doctor like yourself here to a small town in the middle of nowhere?
Oh, I would not call this the middle of nowhere. This is picturesque. I needed a change of scenery, let's say.
We all do once in a while. Anything particular about this place?
Oh, it's convenience. The railways are right here. I can get supplies for my various activities, and eventually I'll be moving into Paris.
Paris. What a wonderful city.
Absolutely. Could use with a few improvements, but...
And what kind of doctor things do you do? Surgeries or stitching people up, or...
I'm a researcher. I specifically am researching mutation, you see.
Mutation?
Absolutely. It's fascinating what the human body can be changed into given various circumstances.
Oh, you're definitely not wrong.
He smiles at you and kind of claps his hands, and someone comes out of the kitchen. They look a little nervous. Their hand is shaking just slightly as they serve you all what looks to be like a nice steak with a little bit of greens. Probably not as large of a steak as you might be used to back in your day, Bo, but someone still puts a plate in front of you. Taiga, a plate is served before you. Maurice had been like kind of in the background, like fiddling, and looks at the food and then looks at Dr. Staltz and just sits down in front of a plate. And Dr. Staltz says, "Wunderbar. let's eat. And Maurice takes up a fork, starts eating, and Dr. Staltz is looking at you all expectantly.
I just want to ask a question about the setting.
Mhm.
Is this a nice dining room that includes a fireplace?
It does.
And it being the wintertime, the fireplace is tended to and warm.
Yeah, it's not like going, but it is warm. It's
Okay.
nice in here.
I will
Oh.
pocket that information.
Okay. Tiger, if you were talking, we could not hear you.
Do I have to? Oh, I was muted the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Do I have to roll anything to see if I could trust this food?
Roll plus sharp.
Okay.
See if you're savvy.
8.
8.
Yeah.
With an 8, you see that Maurice is eating. Like, he doesn't look super happy about it, but he's eating. Dr. Staltz is not.
Okay. I shall not eat as well.
Dr. Staltz kind of looks at you and smiles. Says, "Are you a vegetarian?"
Yes, that is indeed the case. I'm sorry to bother you. Might you have bread or something else?
We can find something suitable. Do eat up, Maurice. As Staltz looks at one of the servants and gives a nod, and they go off and find some like bread and some cheese that's probably pretty stale at this point. Like, they were not expecting to have to like cook fresh bread at this moment. And hands it to you with a little dish of butter.
Okay, I will. Well, I'll eat that, and hopefully that's fine. So I can't. Dr. Staltz, very interesting developments that you have going on in this town. What have you been doing since you have gotten here?
Oh, well, my last research post ran into some trouble in Munich, so I've been rebuilding here in a sort of traveling capacity. You might call me a traveling show, so to speak. Herr Himmler has been very kind in providing me with as many materials as I need in order to prove a point.
Oh, prove a point? To who?
Well,
To the
to
Reich?
the world. To the Reich, sure, but I think my work goes beyond this. It's useful to the Reich, of course, but it would be so much more useful should we know all of the secrets that my work could hold.
How very, very intriguing. And you have been here for how long already?
I've been here for 3 weeks only, but I'm hoping to stay just a tad longer before moving on to Paris.
Very productive indeed. In such a short time, you've done so much work.
Well, I wouldn't say it's so much work. Why, what have you heard?
Oh, you know that this is being developed as a nice strategic spot for the regime to spread. Of course, I'm mostly interested in that.
Yes.
And if your
Have they-
research is very helpful for the regime, then of course, I would be interested in that as well. But only what you want to reveal. I wouldn't want to ruin you if you have some grand surprise planned for the world.
Oh, I have many surprises planned. Have you been told about the nature of my research?
I have not only that there's something, I suppose, I'll whisper, I'll lean in close, occult or supernatural. But, you know, There are a lot of teams that seem to do that nowadays.
Go ahead and roll
Why-
me and manipulate someone.
I just heard a team going to Tibet. That's already happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. 5.
Go ahead and
I'm
mark
gonna-
experience, unless you want to use luck.
Okay. I'm probably not gonna level up. I'm gonna use luck.
Okay, you're gonna use luck. As you say this, Staltz narrows his eyes at you and looks at you and looks at Bo and kind of just seems to relax a little bit and says, perhaps this is a perfect opportunity to do a demonstration. How's that? Would you like to see some of my research in action?
Oh, that would be very great. I will only be here for 1 or 2 days, and I will be off to sea and check on the other outposts.
Oh, I don't think anything's going to compare to this after you see it. Maurice, be a dear and show our guests downstairs while I get prepped. And Maurice looks up and goes, yes, doctor, and pushes his plate away and stands and says, follow me, and starts off down the hallway.
I will follow.
Is it possible for me to finagle it so that Bo is the last one out of the room?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll have to make an excuse, but yes.
I think Bo would like to just politely wait for people to pass and then ask the butler or whoever is waiting on us to also get a fresh bottle of wine.
Okay. The servant just stares a little blankly at you. He's been through a lot in the past 3 weeks and just goes, yes, sir, and goes off to get a bottle of wine.
And then I would like to turn around and face the fire, and I would like to use magic to just do a nice little pop of one of the pieces of wood in the fire to send some coals out across the room that would hopefully start a slowly burning fire.
Okay, go ahead and roll to use some magic.
Burn this Nazi's house down, burn it down.
That is a 6 plus 3. So 9.
This is a perfect music choice for what is happening right now.
You are lucky. You're the last out of the room, but okay.
So a 9?
Yes.
All right. With a 9, yeah, you manage to what is my options on use of magic here? It works imperfectly. You can choose your effect and a glitch. I can decide the effect that the glitch has. So your effect is going to be to set this room on fire a little bit?
Yes. What I want is like something that's not going to become an issue for the next few minutes, but then once it is an issue, there's nothing stopping it.
Okay. Why don't you pick one of the effects on that glitch list under use magic? So the effect is weakened. It's of short duration. You take 1 harm, ignore armor. Magic draws immediate unwelcome attention, or it has a problematic side effect.
I'll say the magic has a problematic side effect.
That's on brand.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it's
you,
storytelling too.
as the servant leaves, like Staltz has swept out of the door with Maurice and Tyga, and you had stayed back to ask for a bottle of wine from the servant. You approach this fire, and it's almost like the light of the veil behind your eyes glows a bit, and one of the log cracks and shoots sparks out into the room, and it catches the carpet on fire, absolutely. But the problematic side effect is that as it catches and smoke starts filling the room, you look down at your feet and You're not as solid as you were before. You're levitating off the ground a little bit. You're a little see-through. You're not as corporeal as before. And as soon as this fire starts and you're back, you look at the door, and there is the servant with a bottle of wine, and he just drops it and runs. And he doesn't scream. He just goes, "Matt," and shatters it and goes.
Yeah, as he's going, I would just like to give him a.
Oh, he's out the door. He's not running to tell anyone. He is out the door. He is leaving this place. He has seen enough.
And then I think it's lost, so I would just let myself out the side of the building and the side of the building that's closest to the town and start making my way probably down the snow hill to town.
Okay.
And hopefully I become more corporeal as I make my way down.
You're gonna leave me here after coming with me here? Okay, all right.
Yeah, well, as this is happening, Taiga, you're being led by Maurice Darlan down a set of this, like, he walks you through a hallway, and then down through this side door. And there's this stone spiral staircase with this wrought iron handle. You look down, and it goes down a ways. And he just kind of looks at you and goes, "Did you eat upstairs?
Yes, I did.
Did you taste the meat?"
Not really. I only had a bit of the meat. Just a little lick.
This is going to go poorly for the both of us then. And as he gets down to the bottom of the stairs, did you actually eat some of the meat?
No.
Okay. Straight up. Good to know. Maurice just kind of sighs and opens the door to what would have been a wine cellar. That's clearly what it's built for. There's racks on the side of the room. But something has been installed in the back of this wine cellar. And as you get down to the bottom of these stairs, Maurice leaves the door open, looks at these, past these wine racks, and just goes, "Well, what's in there?" And is leaning as like back at the far end of the room. And there is a space. And he says, "The experiments? Dr. Staltz will be down in a moment to show you how they work. Don't get too close to the bars."
Okay, I will wait alongside Maurice and so did you expect Dr. Staltz to be doing all of this stuff?
Not in my home.
Well, we have
So-
to do what we have to do.
I think there's a slight interruption, hopefully, as Bo tries to get a message to a magical message to his comrade Taiga from outside. Could I use magic to send a quick message to him?
You can roll for it.
All right. That is a 9 again.
Okay. With a 9, it works imperfectly. You're gonna have to pick another glitch.
Yeah, let's just go with the problematic subject again.
Okay.
The what?
We love this. What are you trying to tell Taiga?
House on fire, get out at your leisure.
Okay. As you're standing down here, and waiting for Dr. Staltz to appear, you hear something shatter upstairs. Like, it's very faint, but you're well trained enough where you look up, and Maurice kind of goes, "What?" And then you hear very clearly, "House on fire, leave at your convenience." Except not just you hear it, Maurice hears it too, because it's this booming, echoey, ghostly sound that it reverberates in the walls and
How
just
am I
says,
supposed to get?
"House on fire." And
Everyone in the house hears this.
You don't know, but in the room, both of you hear it. And as soon as this voice emanates, like it's from the walls, it's like sinking in from the stone. Maurice looks at you, and then looks at the bars and says, "Run," and books it up the stairs.
Can I, before I book it, can I shine a flashlight into the...
Yes, you can.
Oh, please.
Nice.
You shine your flashlight at these bars as Maurice books it, and you're starting to get to the door. As you shine a light in, you see this, you see a shape, but as soon as the light hits it, you hear this screech as the light hits this thing's body, and you can only see before it skitters backwards away from your light that it's human, but it's like it's stretched out too far. The skin on its face is completely hairless. Its mouth is like dry and cracked. Its teeth are covered in blood and gore, and its eyes are a little too wide and black. It looks like it was human once, but its arms are extended and long with very sharp nails, and its stomach is distended, and it's like crouched down on all fours. And as you shine a light at it, it rears up to be a very tall figure and books backwards until you can't see it anymore.
Okay.
Do you follow Maurice?
I will turn off my light immediately and be like, I don't flinch at all. I'm just like, seen worse things in war. I'll get out of there.
Okay. As you get out of here and as Bo is returning to town, we return to our good crew who just watched the sister of the murder victim get grabbed from the sewer. Phileas, you were the one to see it first. Everyone else heard a scream. And so what would you like to do?
Phileas will pulls up the gun, and then immediately he's kind of like, I'm not sure how to use it, and he's like, he's only seeing a hand grabbing, and he immediately yells, "Sasha! Monsieur Sasha!" And he runs for the door, drops the gun at the door as he bursts outside, and he's gonna go run, and I'm gonna try to use the help action to get Christine away from this creature. He's not fighting it, he's gonna grab her and try to pull her out.
Okay.
The power of heart. When fighting a monster, if you help someone, you don't roll plus cool. You automatically help as though you rolled a 10.
Okay, with your 10, I'll roll for Christine to act under pressure.
He's got so many, like, he knows things about Christine that he's seen her do this. She's not a very good person. He knows all these things, but he's like, it does not matter. She needs to be helped. And he runs in.
Yeah, you see Christine struggling against this hand that's kind of reaching up out of the grate, and you manage to hook your arms under her armpits and just kind of pull her backwards with all your might, and she kicks out with one leg, and you both fall backwards, but her leg is out of this grip, and as you fall backwards and you're screaming for Sasha, what is everyone else doing?
Oh, certainly.
Up the stairs as fast as possible into the front of the building.
All right, John.
Well, I was in the middle of watching that happen when it happened. So, shit, it's closer than I thought. I'll snap out, and on my way up, based on that vision and our investigation, can I use my last question and find out what it can do?
Yeah. This thing. It looks like it has incredible strength. It managed to shove that sewer grate that had been bolted into the ground off without a hitch. And it looks like its claws and physique is built for ripping and eating.
Okay. Then on the way out, I will just sort of whisper in my head. What?
You used magic to do that, though, didn't you?
I used tune in. So yes.
So you also got the sense that in its head, as it is trying to rip and eat, it is also not doing it of its own free will.
Okay. So on my way out, I would like to attempt to jinx the creature, or rather, make life easier for me. So use Jinx as I'm gonna lag behind everybody else, and just sort of speak to the whatever it is that helps me and be like, I'm gonna need some help here.
Okay, you roll for that. Fern and John and Sasha, as you come up the stairs out of the cellar and outside, you see Phileas has grabbed Christine Vincent and yanked her away from the sewer. They're both kind of back on their elbows, kind of scrambling away from the sewer. It's now cloudy in the day, and the creature is kind of like half up out of the sewer, and it is clearly like, it looks like a corpse. It looks like pieces of it are like stretched and gaunt and pale. Its fingers have started elongating almost, and its fingernails have grown a little too long. A few of them are cut off, and it looks like the skin around its mouth has been ripped away, and it is just like trying to get up out of this sewer at Phileas and Christine.
Oh, I'm running full speed ahead.
Okay, what are you doing?
Does it look like she's pulling out weapons?
I am certainly, I say guns are going to draw attention, so I am going to pull out my blessed blade,
Okay.
my gravity knife. And,
What I'm going to do then is I'm going to go try to help Phileas and Christine get out of the way so that she can have a clear attack and use the help out.
Okay, so yeah, you can absolutely help out. So you roll plus
Perfect.
cool, and Fern, you'll get to add whatever on that.
Before Fern rolls, I'm also going to use one of my jinxes. I rolled a 10. And while I'm still inside the monster's head, just try to interfere with what it's doing to give Fern a +1 going forward.
Okay, so Fern, you get a +1, and then at plus whatever. Sasha might be able to help.
7 on mine.
7.
plus,
So you
plus
get a plus
7?
So no, you get a
No,
+2.
that's...
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So I get +2 to whatever I have.
Yes. From
So
John and
I
Sasha's
get-
help, you get +2.
I provide +1, but I also expose myself to trouble or danger.
Yeah, you do. So Fern, describe what you're doing first.
What I'm doing is I think I am dealing with something undead, maybe a Wendigo, maybe not. I am going to be stabbing. I'm going to run straight at it because I can see its head and I want to stab it in the head because I have precise strike and I'm going to aim for a weak spot. And it is just going to be, if I can kill it now, astounding, beautiful. I don't want to use a gun and draw the Nazis to my position. But I certainly do not want to jump in that grate as of yet. So, solid
roll to
stance,
kick some ass.
stab it in the head. Yeah. All right, kick some ass, and I get to add 3 or 4 because of all this help.
So you roll plus tough plus 2.
Yeah. Okay. 13.
13. Yeah. You got a 13. So instead of anything bad happening or extra effect, you can instead get an enhanced effect. You can either completely hold the advantage, all humans involved in the fight get +1 forward. You suffer no harm at all. Your attack inflicts double the normal harm, or you drive the enemy away in route.
And with precise strike, I also add +2 harm.
Okay. So you're gonna. What was your original harm on the blade?
On the blade, I think it's 2. I have to, let me scroll down slightly. Yes, 2.
Okay, so you're already doing 4 harm.
Double it.
Uh-huh.
So what else? What would be
Destroy it.
your enhanced effect to be?
My enhanced effect is either crippling it somehow or giving me something to follow. If I can, like, cripple it, like blind it or something to make it easier to get or easy to follow, which could be both. But if I can kill it, great. But
It is a monster. It has a little bit more stamina than you guys.
I assume he has some.
But I mean, you did
Make
4 harm
easier
to it.
for me.
That's a big blow right off the get.
Yeah, I just
Yeah, so you do this, and you as Sasha starts pulling these two normal people really out of the way, you just launch yourself, and with your full force, you're gonna stab right into this thing's shoulder, and like, you've had a rough day. This is a lot. and so you put your entire weight behind it, and you yank backwards, and you take like this thing's arm off. Unfortunately, the arm has spasms as you do, and grabs Sasha's leg and just attaches it like it's like Lynch in there. But the arm's off. Like, Sasha, you can move. You do take one harm.
Okay. All right.
Because it was going to try and attack someone. But yeah, Fern, this thing rears back as you take this thing's arm off, and it just looks at you. And then suddenly, like, there's a break in the clouds, and it looks up, looks at you, and just like curls in on itself and sinks back into the sewer. And there's this trail of red blood. Like, this is not blackened blood. This is red. Like, this thing is still alive. You would know that it is not a zombie.
Yeah. Just breathing hard.
Sasha, let's go.
Bill grabs out his multi-tool that he uses for repairing his motorcycle. He's just going to start getting at this arm that's on Sasha's leg.
It's not moving. It's not moving. It's just dug in.
Stab it anyway.
Sasha's like, hold on, it's getting close to my skin. Hold on, stop.
2 seconds later, John comes up around the corner.
Are you okay? You okay?
I'm okay. Are you okay?
It's trying to flee right now.
It's curled in on itself. It's in the sewer. It's like it's left a trail of blood. But
Right.
yes,
I have one more hold on the jinx. Could I interfere with its ability to flee? One of the things I can do is interfere with what a monster minion or bystander is trying to do. Could I keep it here for a little longer?
You could if you want to go after it.
Meaning I have to jump in the sewer?
Yeah.
Hell no.
It's
I'll
still
just hold on to that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just hold that, Jinx. Phileas is just going at this arm. Sasha, it just like kind of falls off of you. You have puncture marks and like scratches in your leg.
On my leg.
And Christine Von Sant looks at you, Phileas, and goes, "This was not what I was expecting." And just is like kind of going into shock a little bit.
Let's get down to the street. We need. I'll do the street. I'll
Inside,
start like
grab the arm.
hefting up Christine.
Grab the
You.
arm.
I'll grab the arm. I just like sling it over my shoulder and go back inside.
Hey, did Fern ever tell Sasha her name?
I'm sure you've at least heard it. Maybe
Okay,
just the imagery of me putting a dead arm on my shoulder.
Yes, excellent.
The flashback.
Oh yeah. Sasha just stares at Fern for a moment. It was like,
Is there
"Stressing
smoke?
that reader."
Sorry. Is there smoke coming from the manor?
Not yet.
I'm gonna head inside because I
behind
have
a
a
tree
monster
line.
arm.
Yeah.
I have. Sorry.
No, you all can either go inside. You don't see any smoke yet.
I have notes. So many notes about things. Let's go look and.
Perfect.
This one, Christine, I was probably not supposed to say it in front of you, but Emily said that oh, now I'm suddenly forgetting the names. That basically
Maurice.
Phileas is going to tell that Maurice and Dr. Staltz had some sort of fight, and that's what I was supposed to come and tell everyone, and that Christine is also, he's going to just start blurting out like everything he's possibly seen. Like it's going to come out that Christine was having was seeing Maurice and not Maurice. Sorry, Christine was seeing. Oh yeah, it was Maurice. He saw them having an affair, and Maurice and Dr. Staltz were fighting, and the night of the murder, and there's the sewers. They lead into the mountains, I think, and he's just gonna. Does anything he knows, he's going to be like, and that it's kind of like the Goonies thing where like, and he just starts blurting out all the bad things or anything he's ever seen in his life kind of thing. Just, it all comes out.
Yeah. Brigitte kind of like puts her hand
fuck,
on your
Brigitte's
shoulder.
here.
And yeah, Brigitte has been watching this. She's been in the doorway just watching. And she puts her hand on your shoulder, Phileas, and just says, "Calm down or I'll slap you."
Don't slap him.
He's hysterical. He might need it.
Move, go.
If Phileas like nods and then shakes his head and she just slaps you.
Sasha immediately goes and grabs her and just like puts her in the corner.
Yeah, she's like, he needed it. He was hysterical. He needed to calm down. He was blabbering a little too loudly.
I can slap him
We're
too.
going No,
See?
I will hit you. Won't
Bad
hit
idea.
Brigitte, but I will hit you.
She wouldn't hit an old woman.
That's what I said. I won't hit you. Sasha's gonna take everyone. She's gonna pull back the heavy curtain, take them upstairs, and it's like a drastic difference from the clean area down below. It's just the walls are covered in notes, and the living room is taken up by his potato vodka distillery. And he's got desks that are just piled up, and there's some semblance of like remnants of this room or the space having once been divided into Dr. Bellamy and Sasha has taken over all of it.
Okay, you all are now in the inner sanctum of Sasha's mind here.
He's gonna
upstairs.
start like just pulling down notes and trying to find any like writings, journals, books he has on things related, like anything close to this.
When I see this wall, can I investigate a mystery and, or rather when I see all this, can I investigate a mystery and see if I can't, A, suss out whether or not there's any information about me on that wall, and B, see whether or not I can figure out why it is I can't read Sasha and Phineas's mind.
You're gonna try and read their mind, or like
No,
try and figure out
I'm
why
trying.
they can't?
Like I'm gonna look around the room now. I see like the inside of the inner sanctum. I want to see if I can see something and make me go, oh, this is why. This is still a problem for me.
There's nothing on the wall about any protection or anything. You do see some news articles that you definitely recognize on this wall. That you're like, oh, yeah, this okay. And this is where you are. And Brigitte kind of looks at you all, and she's like snapping her fingers at you, John, and is like, we have time for his conspiracy theories later. That was a problem.
It was a real big problem, and I'm trying to solve it, Brigitte. It shouts from like the other room.
Can I casually sniff this arm?
Yes, you may.
How does this arm smell?
This arm smells dirty. It smells a little like a sewer, and it smells like fresh blood.
Do you
No,
want to track
The
this
rotten
creature?
smell?
No rotten smell.
While I am pulling things off my wall and gathering notes and stuff, I would like to use one of my questions
Okay.
and ask when and where will the next critical event occur?
You're in your room of like all of the strings are coming together in your mind as you are starting to deal with this, and you see, that this, if that thing ran away when it saw sunlight, it probably can't get at anyone during the day, but as soon as the sun goes down, all bets are off. And if it could come out of this sewer, come out of any of them, but it ran backwards through the sewer. So it's got somewhere to go. It's coming from somewhere. And either it's going to come to town or you're going to have to go to it.
Okay.
If that is enough of help. So nighttime, sewer possibly by various entrances. It seemed to be attracted to people. So town's a good bet, but you could also try and route it out.
Did it seem, and this might be going past the information I can get here, but did it seem like its attack on Christine was targeted, or was she just like a lucky grab?
If John shared what he saw with you, then you would probably know that this was a opening of like, I want to get out, and then here is a chance for me to grab something. Christine was just there.
Okay.
I don't know that I would have shared. I'm not. I don't know that I explain what I see or what I might have said that, but I wouldn't have shared that I saw inside the creature's head.
That's fine. If you had just saw if you just explained that you saw it up and grab, not in its head or its thoughts, then yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's not a willing creature either.
Yeah. Bo, were you headed back to town?
So Bo kind of wanted to get into the tree line and just give a good notice to see if anyone comes running out of the house.
Tyga, are you running out of the house?
Not just quite yet. I'll be with Maurice, and I will say, Maurice, where's Dr. Staltz?
You guys are running up this stairwell, back out the way you came, and he looks at you and he goes, I don't fucking care. That man is evil.
Okay, my mind has changed about you. I think I'm gonna...
He looks down at himself and goes, I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
I think I'm gonna go find him. Try at least before. How do we... I'm just gonna as soon as we're out of the stairwell, I'm gonna bolt upwards or something.
Okay, roll to... what would this be? Roll to act under pressure.
Okay.
Because the place is now on fire. Smoke is filling. This is a pressure roll. Bo,
10.
you are noticing that Tyga is not running out. Maurice is looking at you, Tyga, and then just books it.
10.
10. You do what you set out to do. Okay. So you're trying to find Dr. Staltz or evidence of him?
I'm not. I'm actually looking for a point of some room of interest so I could get away with something of interest.
Okay. You continue up the stairs as Maurice is like, where are you? Oh, I don't care, and leaves. And you continue up the stairs down a hallway where there's smoke, but the fire's on the first floor. For right now, it's not raging. It's just starting to spread. And you're quickly trying door handles, and most of them open and they're just empty. And then there's one that's locked.
I immediately take out my lipstick from my pocket and pull out my pickpocketing tools from the lipstick and start to pickpocket that lock.
I'm going to keep your 10 roll there because that's a solid number. And it takes you a second, but you are practiced at this. You take out your lipstick, you take out your lockpick, you jam it in there, twist, and it pops open. And when you open it, this room is a mess. This room has papers across all of one wall, similar to Sasha's. And it's written in a mix of German and a little bit of French, and there are books scattered out on this on a desk that's kind of shoved up against one of the walls. The bed looks untouched. It looks like he has not been sleeping here. And there is a mess of information. There are letters and papers and books, and there's the wall that is completely written out in what looks like he's been scribbling on the walls.
I have no idea what any of that means, so I'm just gonna grab any random paper off the table. I won't touch the wall because that's very obvious, but I will grab some random papers off, and then I'll book it. I'll get out of the house.
So you grab up a couple papers, and you manage to snatch what feels like a light journal, and you shove them into your handbag and go. And you're exiting the house.
Yes,
okay.
I'm out.
You exit the house. Bo, you watch in one moment Maurice Darlan is jogging heavy breathed out of the house and is just going down the road, and then there's a solid minute or two where you see a little bit more smoke pouring out of where you set the fire, and then Tyga comes out one of the side doors.
So I'm actually most interested in Dr. Staltz.
You would see that you would not see anyone leave, but you do hear a car start behind the house. If you had moved over there, you see just enough to see Gunter climbing into the driver's seat, and they're in a truck that is taking off towards the forest.
And I think I was looking at the map, and the only way that road goes is there's a fork. But I'll head back into town and then hopefully be able to keep an eye on where the truck containing them goes.
It's not on a road. It's like off-roading it up into the forest.
Well, can't win them all. So at that point, I would catch up with Taiga.
Okay. You both have enough time to possibly catch up with Maurice if you'd like. Or you can just let him go.
Sure. I'll run with Maurice.
He looks at you both and just says, "What the fuck was that?"
And he's still incorporeal, right?
Yeah, he's looking at Bo, but he actually doesn't seem that fazed by it. He looks at Bo, looks at you, and goes, points back at the house. "What the fuck was that?"
I have no idea. We're still running.
Yeah, you're like going down the road. Maurice is a little bit more out of breath. He's not built for this. And he looks at you, Bo, and he goes, "Do you do that all the time?"
It's just a trick of the light, sir. And can I roll magic to become myself again, or?
I will say that it's been enough time that it's starting to fade off of you, and your feet are starting to hit the ground a little bit more.
Just a trick of the light.
A trick of burning light.
Yeah, the smoke must have gotten to me. Clearly.
There's a wonderful doctor in town, Sasha. I'm sure they can help with that.
Yes. Yes. Sasha. That sounds good. That sounds right. Please take me to Sasha. And he's gonna go with you back into town. And you all are kind of like
he's a collaborator.
Anyway. He's a collaborator. You guys are in Sasha's inner sanctum, having just killed this thing.
I still just have the arm.
You still do just have the arm. And as you guys are starting to talk about what you know about the beast, you hear a bang on the door. However, you guys would like to knock, and Taiga, Bo, who now looks a little bit more corporeal, and Maurice Darlan are at the door.